care for people? Do you love you? And why? Why do you care for people? Why don't you care for people? Why do you love you? Why don't you love you? These are the things that you have to know in order for you to know the truth to who's in you and who is the creator of you. To know that you've been believing in some fairy tale bullshit that you was taught to believe in. Meaning, everything that you do think you know is the truth is what was taught to you as the truth, but it all is a lie. I won't say all of it. I'll say some good parts make sense and others don't make sense, but the characters are make believe. I want you to think about why you was created. When I give you the reason why the man was created, from there you should have something solid to build on, being the truth. Why were we created? We was created to do each other a service as well as the Creator created us with no stipulations whatsoever. The Creator gave you life and free will to live your life knowing the Creator gave you life and free will. Knowing that your free will is for you to freely think before you do anything that you do, and to think of what is the reason why I'm doing this before you do it. Because I'll say again to you, if you don't know the reason why you're doing something, you're stupid, because 9 times out of 10 you're doing it in repetition of what someone else told you to do, and you not feeling right about it. You gotta have your why, not someone else's why. Like, why are you washing these windows? Because this is my job to wash these windows. See what I'm saying? You have to have a why, or whatever you're doing is stupid. I say to the kids on this Grand Theft Auto, why do you play this game so much? Why do you think about it when you're not on it? If you don't know why, it's something that you're doing is stupid and you're wasting your time while you're doing it. And time is a terrible thing to waste, especially when you got too much knowledge to get to know something before you can waste any of your time. You gotta have the knowledge to know that any of your time that you wasted, it ain't gonna be wasted, because you're gonna have a reason why you spent the time on what you spent the time on, and what was your outcome of what you wanted it to be after you create that reality for yourself out of nothing. I'm just saying, in order for you to tap into who you really are, you have to know the reason why you are created. I said to the kids, don't know why, because they don't even want to know from A to Z just yet, because they just now been created. When you think of the kids that's on the Grand Theft Auto, you got to think of that kid's little fragile mind. That kid's little fragile mind is just starting out. And look exactly what they're starting out on. They're starting out on a game that's not giving them nothing to be a better person for themselves later on in life. It's only showing them the menace to society side to stand on. It's the truth that's coming out of my mouth. And a lot of people hate it. So I'm gonna play a little bit here while I talk a little and while I eat a little. And then I'm gonna show y'all my breakfast that I'm fixing right now. Here we go. What's going on, good people? What's going on, Dad? Welcome to my show. The truth is the truth. The karaoke. I'm just saying, you're gonna listen to some real conscious rap that really makes some sense. Did I mention that I have an MBA? Don't make no sense. You tell me what direction is what you listen to, or what if this game really teach you that'll help you in your life events. This game do nothing but put you into a fairy tale state of mind. To some of y'all not really understanding what reality really is. I'm just saying. Now come on here and I go to my channel, I see you news. It's just to see these kids having you know this is a game. A lot of these kids don't know what this game is changing their spirit. Because a lot of them is really taking the game in. A lot of y'all may must know too that control get a feeling. And the control give a feeling so you can get that out of the game to feel like you're really in the game. To give you that delusion of what the game wants you to really feel. When you look at all the graphics and everything that they went through to create this game, and then you think about there's somebody in this world that's drinking dirty water or don't have no food. But you can get a game where you almost feel like you actually in the game, living in the game, buying bullshit that you wouldn't do in real life, even if you could. Because it don't make sense to have all these cars when someone have none. You tell me what sense does it make? Unless you're just a selfish person. And all you kids on this game, that's what this game is teaching y'all how to be. Selfish. Thinking about self at all times. But I say to y'all gotta come and realize that y'all are the future. Game must really see nothing on there. Looking grim when I'm looking at all of y'all that's on this game. You really see? I can see me more than I can see the daggone game. It's all the bright and pretty things. Oh, I can see it there. That attracts you kids to the thing. Neutral burst. You see, like, those of you that don't like the truth, y'all gonna see, y'all gonna do exactly what y'all do. Y'all gonna click off, and I'm end up on my channel by myself. But that's nothing, because I'm never gonna be by myself. I'm gonna always know I'm here to help, because I ain't in this world by myself. Two is what makes it better. Breakfast of a champion. Oh yeah. Neutral burst. My easy stand. I'm gonna show the world. This is love on a plate, baby. Love on a plate, no mate. Nothing ain't have to die for me to survive. I'm just saying. As a kid, I ain't got to worry about. No, you playing an adult game, so you do have to worry about. Because this game helps you skip over being a kid. This game is teaching you things that you should learn later on in life. Not right now in life. But life is not a game. Life is just real as you die and your body sits on the ground. Just like in this game. But you don't get no second chance today. I'm just saying. A lot of y'all know that this game is evil. And a lot of you know that this game put a lot of stuff on y'all mind. And a lot of you know y'all, this game, with this game you sit and think about this game is not on this game. I think you little kid and I know who you are. See, that's what I'm saying. He don't even much know how stupid that was, what he just did. Because he's a little kid. And he'll get a pass because kids are stupid. And they're gonna do stupid shit. So I can't even much get mad. But I love him for showing himself spirit. He let me know that I was talking to his little crooked spirit. So he had to let me know that he feel it. Or he wouldn't have never came on and do that. So I say to you, little kid, more power to you. I see that you in this game. And when they say that this game was for adults, and they put ratings on the game, that was bullshit. They already knew that the stupid kids was going to get a hold to this game no matter what, and then they were going to want the game even much more. When they see all the cars and all the little trinkets and shit, like for instance, what adult would want a missile launcher that make noise? Right there lets you know that was put on here to grab hold to the kids. Woo, what's that noise? And then all the cars, the little ramps and shit. See, Grand Theft Auto knew exactly what they was doing when they created this shit. To grab the kids. Because their minds ain't developed enough to understand, overstand, and understand. To get exactly what the game is doing. But I feel for their moms and their dads, if they have moms and dads. A lot of them just have moms. Because a dad he would be a stupid asshole if he allowed his son or his daughter to be on this game. Because the game ain't gonna teach them nothing that's gonna better their life. Nothing. This game prepare more people for penitentiary. That's what all the game do. Or wanting to go to the armed forces like Call of Duty. And what that other one is. What Duty. With the help. Call of Duty. Don't move again. Please hang up. 991. Purchase. Division. Yeah, Division. Yeah. All those games. Survival again. They for the end of the world where people gotta survive. And just killing other people to survive. Come on, people. Where's the love? See, people so confused with shit. So they not realizing who the creator is in them, in this big old bullshit that man created for them. You'll never figure out shit for yourself. But you ain't trying to figure it out because you thinking like someone else taught you to. Common sense, people. You see y'all young people? Everything that you do, you gotta have why so you can be. Because you don't know why. You're doing it. I'm on this game to catch the kids. To give kids a little direction. Because this here game is all the different directions. Even though the game is showing all the warning vibrations and messages to you subliminally. And how you kids might not understand to get what that means. but it's sending out signals to you and you don't even must know. Anything that can trigger you to being upset to the point where your heart beats different than normal. It's something that's doing something real bad to you. We live on frequency, kids. And what I mean by we live on frequency, your heartbeat is a frequency. Everything that makes you starts from your heart. When you get that vibration from this controller, that starts a beat. That starts that vibration towards you internally. Boy, I mean, yeah, that's what I mean. What I might do is go in here and mention to talk to these kids that these kids know that they gotta try something new on this game. How about your kids doing yourself? Doing yourself a favor. Try going 3 days without killing each other. Try going 3 days without shooting nobody with names over the head. Just do missions and see how much money you make. But most of y'all don't really want to play to make no money no more because y'all can glitch all the money that there is to get. Don't make no sense. I thought the game was to get on the game and make money, not kill each other. And like I said then, that's basically how the creators of the game want people to be blind and blind monkeys. All the breed. Any game where you play somebody that you don't want to play, it's some bullshit. But most of the people that play the game don't even know why they don't game so far. And they already know what the goal is. Even if they're good, they're good at bad. But they're good at bad things. Couldn't keep. And there's nobody to see that. I mean, nothing. They proved all this bad and wrong. Yeah, I can't so much force on it now. But I let people run. Think before. I don't want nobody to feel bad. Nobody to feel good. And if this takes for you to feel good, so when me losing, I'm going to lose everything. We're going to a mission. Probably looking for real free breath. Talking about real life. Talking about bullshit. Breathe out that one, breathe. Whatever you do, breathe out that one, breathe. Breathe out that one, breathe. Breathe out that one. Got my computer and broke my computer and that shit. Okay, so they will do some shit that will be fun. Wait for the PlayStation meeting. For those of you that might miss the meeting, you better get to see the meeting right here on that channel. The truth is the truth. Period. Fuck all the bullshit. You messed up.
Please welcome to the stage, Andrew House.
Good afternoon, everyone. 3.5 years ago, on a stage much like this, we presented our vision for the future of gaming and interactive entertainment. Our belief then, which continues to animate our efforts today, was how to make access to content and experiences vastly more simplified and streamlined. Our desire was and is to demonstrate the ways the living room would no longer be the center of the PlayStation ecosystem, the gamer would. our success would rely not only on a package of next-generation technologies, but on reconceptualizing how the game consumer would want to play today, tomorrow, and in the future. PS4 was founded on the conviction of giving gamers the multi-dimensional and transformative play experiences they expect and deserve. Long-term partnerships with the best developers, a console with user experience at the core, a network that is faster, more social, more personalized, and brings entertainment to life like never before. With more than 40 million units sold worldwide, we are honored at the success the platform has achieved. However, we know there are still a large number of gamers waiting to join the PlayStation 4 family. That is why we will introduce a PS4 system that is slimmer, lighter, and more energy efficient. The new model, which is the standard PS4 moving forward, will appeal to a wider audience who are looking to buy the best interactive entertainment system for their home. Despite the sleek design, the new model packs all the same powerful components that have made PS4 the best place to play. With the new PS4 model, you can immediately enjoy exclusive entertainment experiences such as Uncharted 4 and PlayStation Vue, our cloud-based TV service. And the holiday season is just around the corner, with PlayStation VR launching next month, as well as an amazing lineup of PS4 games, including The Last Guardian, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and Watch Dogs 2. The new PS4 model will be in most markets by September 15th for $299, representing a tremendous value for gamers. For those who have yet to join the PS4 community, there's never been a better time. PS4 games continue to deliver new experiences that redefine interactive entertainment, and developers are just hitting their stride, pushing the graphics, narrative, and gameplay farther on PS4 than ever before. PlayStation 4 has indeed been the grand canvas that we hoped it could be, supporting a tremendous variety of titles from AAA to smaller digital games, all tied together with the PlayStation Network and our unique approach to social play. We have returned to the combination of creative breadth and commercial success that made the early years of PlayStation so distinctive. It was always our intention to design the PlayStation 4 as a platform to stimulate and fuel future evolution. This vision of the future and the architecture that would enable it was designed into the product from the very beginning. However, we realize that for the very highly discriminating gamer, there is always a desire for advancement, and they want it in this generation. As technology continues to evolve, bringing with it new ways to realize the aspirations of the gaming community, we're adjusting and accelerating our innovation cadence. One such technology we've focused on is display. Display technology offers so much potential if there is content to leverage what's now possible regarding visual acuity, precision, and high-resolution imagery. With PlayStation 4, we're pretty much maxing out what 1080 TVs can do with most games. Gamers and developers alike are always hunting for ways to heighten their gameplay experiences, which is why we're excited about 4K and high dynamic range, or HDR. 4K can deliver a level of detail and visual precision that's unprecedented. HDR contributes to enhancements in visual clarity, color, and luminance. It makes scenes far more realistic and truer to the way your eyes see and experience the real world. In the world of TVs, these two buzzwords have been circulating for a while now, but it's only now that we can start implementing these advancements in the context of gaming. Games are a natural for 4K and HDR. Developers want to deliver on the promise of their creative vision, and both these technologies enable them to make their games look better without the compromises. To provide users with even better gaming experiences, in conjunction with these technologies, we give you PlayStation 4 Pro. PlayStation 4 Pro will sit alongside and complement the standard PS4. We named it PS4 Pro to symbolize that it is part of this generation and targeted to the hardcore gamer or those who have invested in advanced display technology. At launch, PS4 Pro will become the #1 provider of high-resolution and HDR content. We will instantly have hundreds of hours of high-quality gaming experiences available in these exciting formats where you can truly see the difference. Now, to tell you more about the innovative technology behind the console, let me introduce PlayStation 4 lead system architect, Mark Cerny.
Thank you, Andy. When designing PlayStation 4, we had a vision of what gaming could become and created the necessary hardware to support it. We wanted a breadth of titles from AAA to indie, and so we made sure that PS4 was easy for developers to use. We believed in creating a frictionless experience for the gamer, and so we made sure to equip PS4 with a hard drive to shorten load times, as well as the required support for suspending and quickly resuming games and playing as you download. With that hardware as a foundation, we were able to realize our vision. And as a result, a vibrant gaming community has grown around the console. PS4 Pro is not intended to blur the lines between console generations. Instead, the vision is to take the PS4 experience to extraordinary new levels. First and foremost, our goal is to deliver high-fidelity graphical experiences. With that in mind, we more than doubled the power of the GPU and adopted many new features from the AMD Polaris architecture, as well as several even beyond it. A number of hardware innovations support efficient rendering for 4K displays, allowing titles on PS4 Pro to reach resolutions not thought to be possible on console in 2016. For those gamers and developers who put a premium on achieving the smoothest frame rate possible, we're boosting the clock rate of the CPU. We understand that continuity of experience is important to the PlayStation community. Existing games will play as you're accustomed to on PS4 Pro, and we're providing a number of mechanisms for easily transferring your game library and entitlements from the standard model to the new console. We're also equipping PS4 Pro with a 1 terabyte hard drive to ensure that you'll have plenty of space for new experiences. The result of all these improvements is a console that provides unparalleled experiences for the 4K TV owner, and truly excellent enhancements for those using HD TVs as well. We'll give you a detailed look at those aspects of PS4 Pro today, as well as show how transformative high dynamic range is for gaming content, and what the new console offers for VR. 4K TV sets deliver an unprecedented level of detail. Today, we have as an industry been supporting 720p and 1080p HD TVs with 1 or 2 million pixels. 4K TVs provide a staggering 8 million pixels of display resolution. The achievable visual depth and detail are extraordinary. Brute force rendering techniques can, of course, be used to support these displays, but they have unfortunate consequences for console cost and form factor. So, with PS4 Pro, our strategy has instead been to foster streamlined rendering techniques that can take advantage of custom hardware. When coupled with best-of-breed temporal and spatial anti-aliasing algorithms, the results can be astonishing. The titles I'm about to show you are impressively close to realizing the complete potential of 4K displays. These scenes were recorded in real time from PS Pro hardware and are playing back in the theater on a 4K projector. For those of you watching this from home, after the show, we'll be making the footage available in 4K on video on demand so that you'll be able to better appreciate the quality of the imagery we are showing today. These first images are from Marvel's Spider-Man game, developed by Insomniac and announced at E3 this year. The detail of the city is incredible. Minute features such as the pedestrians in the distance would just be blurs on an HD TV set, but here they are crisp characters. As for Spider-Man himself, the texture of the suit is breathtakingly clear in a way that it could never have been before. Here is For Honor from Ubisoft running on the new console. What we look for in games, the intensity and authenticity of experience, has never been more apparent. What you may find surprising is that the models and textures being used here, whether they be for the environment or for these two historic warriors, are in fact the exact same ones that were created for the standard PS4. The difference is in the high rendering resolution that PS4 Pro can support. It is simply transformative. Long vistas and high-resolution geometry, as seen here in Deus Ex Mankind Divided from Eidos, also highlight the power of the console and capabilities of 4K displays. The extreme level of detail visible in the game environments and characters, such as augmented hero Adam Jensen, brings a greater intensity and welcome new reality to the experience.
I love this woman. Alright, people.
That sense of reality can also heighten the level of emotional immersion, here bringing us closer to Lara Croft's unique combination of toughness and vulnerability.
You don't need no game going.
With Rise of the Tomb Raider, Crystal Dynamics has taken great care to apply the power of the hardware to all aspects of the game, whether it be Lara's hair, face, clothes through weapons, or the shaders, geometry, and special effects that give the environment solidity and
I grew up running behind this woman.
This is truly a showcase
of
how PS4 Pro can transform gaming.
Hasn't changed. These are two beautiful women
Next up
right here.
are some scenes from Watch Dogs 2. I'll just let them speak for themselves.
I pray for all the happiness for you too. Especially you, Iris. A man is not a man without a woman. A woman is not a woman without a man. Love is only one way to create, and that's to make love knowing the person you're making love to. Knowing y'all two to come together and make another one of each other.
Finally, I'd like to show you some environments from Killing Floor 2. We know that diversity of gaming experiences is key to the appeal of PlayStation. Consequently, we've kept the simple programming model of PS4 intact, allowing smaller teams such as Tripwire to bring their titles to PS4 Pro and the new world of high-resolution displays. High dynamic range, or HDR for short, is without a doubt the most exciting advance in TV technology in the last decade. The world in which we live has an enormous range of luminosity, from dark nights to brilliant
be straight with the women that you know.
Skies. Human vision has evolved to make the most of it, as well as to perceive a very broad range of colors.
All love, women. All love, men.
Unfortunately, the display devices that almost all of us use today, I'll just call them conventional TVs fail pretty dramatically at representing this range of luminosity, and also can display only a fraction of the colors that the eye can see. HDR TVs do much, much better. Now for me, the really exciting part of this is that although games need to use different algorithms when rendering for HDR displays, typically involving deeper MRTs and tweaked tone mapping, supporting HDR does not require radical increases in processing power like 4K does. It's mostly a matter of connecting an HDR-capable device, such as PS4 Pro, to an HDR-capable display. To give you a feeling for the HDR difference, here's a picture of a San Francisco sunset. This is actually being shown to you using HDR TVs, but we are restricting the image quality to roughly what a conventional display can represent. Looks pretty, doesn't it? But here it is instead, using the full power of HDR. The difference is amazing. HDR is very new technology. Standards are still in flux, and the game creators are definitely still figuring out how to best take advantage of the displays. We will not expect all developers to initially support HDR on PS4 Pro, but for those that do, well, let me just give you a glimpse or two. Here is Days Gone from Sony's Bend studio, once again restricted to what a conventional TV can display. So this is utilizing all the detail of 4K, but the luminosity and color are quite similar to what was shown at E3. I'm going to turn on HDR now and show you what changes. Whatever it is that your eye expects to see to convince you that something is real, HDR is supplying that. The colors in the clothes, the brightness of the sun, these all represent a level of photorealism that you've never experienced in a game.
Just one way.
Daytime scenes are great for showcasing HDR, but nighttime scenes show its potential as well. Here the Freaker Horde has come out to feed. Luckily, crafting is a big part of Days Gone, and Deacon has managed to assemble a few Molotov cocktails.
I can't really see that, but that's some serious graphic, baby.
Those who played Naughty Dog's Uncharted 4 may remember this interactive chase scene. You're now seeing it at much higher resolution and in HDR, which makes it even more of a spectacle. Part of why image quality improves so much with HDR is that it's possible to have key areas of the screen, such as these explosions, that are dozens of times brighter than what a conventional TV can display. This is Fetch, the hero in Infamous Light from Sucker Punch. Fetch is a superhero who can harness the power of neon lights. If you think that sounds like something that would show off HDR well, you'd be right.
Y'all can see it, but y'all can't see it. If I could go to YouTube, let me go back to what I do.
We believe that the potential of HDR is right, and free will. 4K TV, the will to go right. Right is only one way to create, and that's love. And consequently, developers are free to tailor the experience to best fit the type of TV between the man and the woman. So if you connect PS4 Pro to an HDTV, the right track here's some of what you'll see. I am as straight as the arrow shot across the moon. First up is a comparison of standard model and PS4 Pro graphics on parity. Epic Games has chosen to increase the quality of the graphics in a great number of ways. Enhanced visual effects, procedural grounding, higher scene complexity, greater texture fidelity, dynamic reflections,
When man said that the creator created man,
Warner Brothers is supporting HDTVs on Shadow with a number of different ways. Here you can see how super sampling anti-aliasing is used to bring the detail of high-resolution imagery over to a 1080p display.
to do the best job to make sure that woman has everything that she needs to be here, like I said again, until it's time for life
This
to
is
go
For
on.
Honor from Ubisoft again, this time
It's
playing
man
on
that
an
taking all the
HDTV.
bullshit that we in
You
there.
can see how the extra power
And
of
they
the
have
new
to do
console
woman.
is used to boost the
But
visual
create,
density
I
of the
said the
scenes,
creation.
and also to bring much of the impressive richness of the
again, man is the reason why we in all this bullshit. Because when you look at man, and you look at
So you may have noticed that several of these titles, including Paragon, Infamous First Light, and Shadow of War, are titles that have already been released. That's another aspect of the PS4 Pro experience. A number of games that you already own may have been patched with better elements. We're referring to this upgrading of your library as forward compatibility. Patches for over half a dozen first-party titles are in the works, as well as quite a few for third-party developers. Finally, I'd like to show you how PS4 Pro works with the PSVR headset. We are very proud of the breakthrough experiences that the headset provides for the standard. With PS4 Pro, developers can choose to increase the crispness of the VR scenes, make special effects richer, or to offer higher frame rates, making your VR experiences even more immersive. For Farpoint, Impulse Gear chose to focus on the detail and reality of the scenes. They have roughly doubled the rendered pixel count from that of the standard model, allowing them to breathe further life into their virtual universe.
You're eating dead. You're not eating life. You're eating dead flesh and you're not eating it right. If you're an animal, you're
With the
supposed to
PS4
kill
Pro,
and
we
eat
aim to
it
provide
right then,
developers
like
with
blood,
the tools
still
and technologies that can further their creative
That's
vision.
right.
One developer that's
Because
truly
you're not
embraced the
supposed
potential
to
of
be
the console
eating
is Gorilla
meat
Games.
at all.
Let's take a look at some
I'm just
never-before-seen
saying.
gameplay from the highly anticipated Horizon
Fuck all
Zero
the
Dawn,
bullshit.
which showcases
You've
what
been
can be
blind to
achieved
yourself all
with
your life.
4K and high
Time to
dynamic
finally start telling yourself
range
the truth
displays.
about the bullshit
Thank you.
that's bullshitting yourself. Time to start living right. Living right is not to eat the creative test. I say it again, to live right is not to eat the creative test. Now, I'll go back to that guy bullshit. Wow. When you look up into the sky, you are little eyes wondering why.
Yeah,
Why
they want
am
you
I?
again. They won't get your ass all the way in this shit.
And that reason is to help the person next to you to do what they need to. Meaning, we are serving for each other. When you serving with love unconditionally that you feel from the Creator. Because one thing about us, we can't control love, so we therefore can't love unconditionally. Because we can hate our seed, let alone the one that we married to. So like I said again, the only one only creator is love. The God is the man-made bullshit. The name of the creator is love before man changed to God to give you a middleman in this bullshit. There is no middleman. There is no Father or in heaven. Because the heaven is in you and all around you. Because it is you to know why you move. You move because of the spark. Before there's smoke of fire, that touch of love unconditional, that lets you know you're alive. Not no fairy tale man-made up cozy bullshit. It's time for you to reboot the original computer, which is your brain, and start reprocessing everything that you were taught as a kid. That you was lied to, and now you're still being lied to as an adult. Because I tell you, for you to know for you who the Creator is in you. I want you to be real big and just close your eyes and think to yourself. The creativity in you is the creator of you. I'll say it again. The creativity in you is the creator of you. The spark before the smoke of fire. The unconditional feeling that lets you know that you're alive. Because when you think about it, in order for you to make a fire, you gotta be alive to rub those sticks together. So, thinking of it just like that, I'll give you 4 periods of your life. I'll give you 4 ways starting with L, ending with E. That sums your life up from beginning to ending in 4 cities. And then I'll give you 1 word, 4 letters,
but summed it up how we all came to be here, and it was created as a original game. All y'all with I love doing this. Your whole period starts off when your mama misheard. Then you live in a period. Then you die in a period, and then you're on a death certificate. He or she is dead, period. Now the
Thanks very much, Mark, and thank you, Guerrilla Games. PS4 Pro will bring about a transformation in the way that gamers experience their favorite titles. At the same time, we're working hard to ensure that PS4 remains a single, unified community. Same discs and downloads will run on both the standard model and PS4 Pro, but they will play in multiple ways. In addition to support for the standard model, we're asking our publishing and development partners to consider how they can best support PS4 Pro on 4K TVs and also on HD TVs with each and every title. One great example of this transformation will be with the launch of Call of Duty. To share with you how Call of Duty is driving the new level of gaming experience on PS4 Pro, please welcome Activision CTO Andy Hendrickson.
And it is the period of original name before name changes. The one word, 4 letters, LOVE. Life, live, love, lead. LOVE. Life, live, love, lead. LOVE. It's the period of me. And I know, we make this, that somebody told me to.
On behalf of Activision and our talented studio teams, it's exciting to be here today to talk about our future with PlayStation 4 Pro. There's nothing else like Call of Duty. The immersion, that visceral feeling that you are starring in your own epic action experience. Our studio teams leverage every ounce of the console to deliver the greatest possible detail to surround players and immerse them in a stunning and lifelike world. Our developers couldn't be more excited about what PS4 Pro has to offer. With its greater memory bandwidth and enhanced GPU, we can now deliver richer textures and 4K graphics on top of our trademark 60 frame a second gameplay. I'm proud to share that this fall, Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered will support PS4 Pro out of the box day one. And for you Black Ops 3 fans, don't worry. Black Ops 3 will also support PS4 Pro on day one with an online title. We're talking one unified Call of Duty community wherever they play together on PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 4 Pro. So let's take a look. This clip is from a mission called Operation Dark Quarry. During this mission, you and your crew answer a distress call from a mining facility on an asteroid that's been knocked out of orbit. It's a harsh environment. Because of its proximity to the sun, getting caught outside could be deadly. This is Call of Duty Infinite Warfare on PlayStation 4 Pro.
Search and rescue.
900 degrees in the sun.
One lead civilian, General Illinois.
I play this game, I got the ride to shield up, and I don't feel nobody. Because like I said, I don't play Madden, none of those games like that, just stuff. I'll tell y'all, getting off what I just said, dealing with the truth. And you think for yourself, what is the reason why you think that we have two hands today? I'm going to give you an answer to that question. The reason why we have two hands instead of one is because you already know food is bad in you. But the Iceman food does not taste or made with no sugar, but made with the mayonnaise that's not the sugar. It's because the creator has money. The creator goes to TV.
Drones must be tied to the power.
Hi everyone, I'm Aaron Flynn. Across EA right now, developers are combining the power of Frostbite with the power of PS4 Pro to bring even more amazing features and gameplay to our players. This year, both FIFA 17 and Battlefield 1 will support the new console. And early next year, we'll be bringing Mass Effect Andromeda to PS4 Pro. Yeah, thanks. Mass Effect Andromeda is going to take you to a whole new galaxy, and playing that experience on PS4 Pro is going to be incredible. You'll be totally immersed in Andromeda, discovering all new alien worlds brought to life with sharper graphics and high dynamic range lighting. We're also able to create more lifelike characters, which will continue to allow you to experience the best stories you can play. Let's take a peek at how Mass Effect Andromeda looks and plays on PlayStation 4 Pro. Here we find Ryder and his companions deep in an unexplored level of the game. Please watch.
Watch your step, okay?
No sunlight, no water. I should have been dead. There's also potential lockdown AQ for more information. Here's the entity clues. It made a new path.
Remember, they don't turn nasty unless you get too close.
And I'm sitting there still checking out this new PlayStation shit. They did their thing on this. They got a whole new PlayStation.
This whole platform resonated with me. Something. We must be close. No question. This is the heart of the wall. That's come out your hands, motherfucker. That must be the lockdown console.
Is that the Helios cluster?
Yeah, there we are. All these points are false on the worlds. Normal on this one.
Okay, up there. The whole place is lighting up. Power readings are off the chart. Really off the chart.
But if it's back online, we should be.
see with the games shown today, PS4 Pro allows developers to push the fidelity as high as possible while retaining the best performance. For those who use their PS4 to watch movies, TV, or videos, PS4 Pro also has best-in-class 4K streaming services. We've had a long-standing relationship with Netflix that will not stop with PS4 Pro. I'm happy to announce that a new Netflix app will be available with PS4 Pro at launch, and by the end of the year, 600 hours of 4K content will be available on Netflix, including Narcos Season 2, recently premiered, and Luke Cage, premiering September 30th. Both of these titles will support 4K and HDR. In addition, YouTube, which is already among the largest sources of 4K content anywhere, is developing an app for PS4 Pro that will support 4K content. We believe the potential of HDR is incredible and that it will transform gaming and entertainment in a manner that we haven't seen since the transition from standard to high definition picture. Which is why every PlayStation 4, back to the very first console sold in 2013, will be HDR capable via a firmware upgrade next week. Higher dynamic range means more realism, more visual beauty, and the broadest spectrum of colors ever realized on a console. With the proper display, all 40 million PS4 users can join the HDR revolution. At PlayStation, we're clear in our mission to make the game at the center of our universe. We're steadfast in our commitment to be the best place to play. And we believe this current PS4 game development cycle is just getting its start. Some of the best games are still yet to come. So, let's take a look.
Okay, that's a squat in the new stuff. Oh, shit. That's in that drink. Y'all think y'all can blow me up? You know what y'all want. I'm paying for it, though. I'm getting like stuff.
Our vision is to present a clear choice. We want to deliver the best games to our current gamers. We want to invite new members to join our community. We want to offer an option for those that want to heighten their gaming experience. So tonight it's my pleasure to introduce to you the new PlayStation 4 lineup. PS4 Pro, November the 10th, 2016, priced at $399. For both PS4 Pro and the new Slim PS4, the value propositions are clear and the choice ultimately remains with gamers. We invite you to experience PS4 Pro for yourselves next door after the show. Thank you everyone for your time and for your visit. Thanks very much.
I think PlayStation blog. We just saw a lot of big news coming out of PlayStation tonight in the PlayStation Theater in Times Square, New York. Lots to go over, and I want to bring in my buddy, Mr. Sean Lane. Sean, come over here. I know you were sitting out in the audience. You took it all in here. So, Sean, you're chairman of Worldwide Studios.
Yes, and proud to be so. I think what we saw today was some great first-party content. I mean, Days Gone, I think it looked phenomenal.
Outstanding.
And Horizon coming out just in February next year. Looks like it's ready to go. But so there's still some more work to do on it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of news tonight. I mean, just there was, we obviously had the slimmer PS4. We got to first look at that. And then we get this PS4 Pro. And I mean, this is designed not only for 4K displays, but also HD TVs. I mean, there's benefits kind of no matter which way you slice it.
Absolutely. I think the most exciting pull quote from today's presentation for PS4 Pro anyway is November 10th, 2016.
Yeah.
That's in 2 months.
Yes.
Right around the corner. Right around the corner, right in time for Christmas. I think we've managed to get the community together to support this exciting new standard, building it out for 4K resolution, building to support HDR. You saw the stuff on the screen today.
It was spectacular, and I think if I have any regret, it's that folks can't be here to see it in person, because it really pops. It really pops. Well, speaking of popping, I did want to touch base on this HDR news that we got. Right. We got the news that every single PS4 going all the way back to 2013 is going to actually end up supporting HDR.
We will have a firmware update, which will take every one of the 40 plus million PS4s across the world, make them HDR ready, make them compatible. Of course, Slim will do that, the new form factor for PS4 and PS4 Pro. So right across the board, anything that has PS4 on it will support HDR.
And one of the things, you're chairman of Worldwide Studios, so I think this is near and dear to your heart. When we were talking at E3, you were talking about how important kind of narrative is to developers and the developers of Worldwide Studios. And I mean, when we talk about, this sort of higher fidelity, the greater intensity, the sort of heightened experience that you get out of like a PS4 Pro, the HDR, the high resolution. I mean, I can only think that contributes to all of that.
Oh, sure. I mean, talk about getting emotion into your story and into your visual scene and showing people exactly what the feeling of your characters are. I think HDR brings that capability right across the board to everything you do. You saw it with Days Gone. You saw the reflection of the light against Deacon's face and how
right now. We got a lot more free action here tonight. We're going to be talking to a lot of the folks that you saw out there on stage. We're going to learn more about the games that we saw. We're going to be learning more about Mass Effect Andromeda. That's one I know a lot of people. That was a surprise. That was a big surprise. A lot of people have heard me talk about one. I've been wondering about that one. We got a first glimpse at it. We're going to learn more. We're going to learn more. We're going to learn more about Days Gone. And this one's looking gorgeous. This one, these guys have really been working away, getting that HDR in line and high resolution. We're gonna be talking to a lot of guys. A lot of the folks that you saw up on stage tonight, we're gonna have them here. Oh, that's gonna be exciting. And we're also gonna hear. I think this will please you. We've got a couple panels lined up too. So we're gonna have cross sections of the most talented graphic designers in the studio.
Let them tell this story.
Yes.
They know exactly what they're talking about.
I mean, there is definitely a technology side to this, but at the same time, I think the games just look fantastic. I mean, they look great.
Yes, they did.
It's pretty stunning. Yeah. Now, Sean, I know you got a busy night ahead of you. Lots to do. Lots to see. I hope you get a chance to get some hands-on time here. It's not going to be easy, though. You can kind of look out here that we have members of the press, media. They're checking this stuff out for the first time.
It's one of our shortest stage events ever.
Yeah.
We clocked in at 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But because of this, you've got to get your hands on. You've got to see it.
Yeah, you got to
really appreciate the entire impact of that.
It's huge. So, Sean, appreciate you joining us. I know you got a lot to see and do.
Yeah, thanks for coming, Sid.
All right, so have a great one.
We'll catch up with you later.
All right, absolutely. And so, like I said, we have a lot more in store. We're going to be coming up shortly with Horizon Zero Dawn. We're going to be talking to Guerrilla Games' Herman Holst. Guerrilla, obviously known for technical prowess. We've seen it through the Killzone series.
There's no such thing as you got a
PS4 Pro. So let's check
everything
in with Horizon Zero Dawn
with
and much more to
what's
come.
going on now. Everything what's happening is now. If you don't start to do right now, and you die in Rome right now, do you actually think you're going right to the right place? I tell you one thing, you don't. I died 4 times to know what I know. But I ain't gonna spoil a surprise for those of you that don't want to do right.
It is a great thing for us. And as a studio, we're all about new hardware, what we can do with that. But for this project specifically, it's about a very large open world. So having these massive promises for us to be able to have these details.
For those of you that don't know,
to be able to project that, it's fantastic.
We have
the consumer.
a PlayStation
but also, this world is all about beauty, majestic beauty.
and a
Just look at the
PlayStation.
light in the sky. If she turns around, you look at the shadows, and you see all the detail. It just takes the experience to
We got
me
a
to the next
PlayStation
level. So
4.
I'm really psyched up about it.
Absolutely.
And
From a
we
more
got
technical
a
standpoint, are there
a
particular
PlayStation
aspects
Plus.
of the hardware that you guys really feel like has been
PlayStation 4
beneficial to
and
you,
PlayStation
building
Plus.
something that has such large scope?
I mean, I think it's the overall power of the PlayStation 4 Pro. Still getting used to the name, of course. It's everything. It's both the 4K capability as well as the HDR that together, I think, makes up this fantastic image.
Absolutely. Now tell me a little bit more about the game. I mean, obviously we're seeing some new footage here in New York City, debuted today, so that's probably of particular importance to you guys. Tell us a little bit about what we're seeing. For example, the Tolnek. Did I get it right?
The Tolnek, yeah. So the Tolnek, so first of all, she's in a new ecotopia here. This is the jungle, so we've seen kind of these snowy landscapes before. We've seen some desert before. She's in a more jungle type environment, so she's taken out a scout here. She's on her way to go up to that Tolnek, and she wants to hack that thing. Okay, and that's going to give it's not going to get into what kind of perks it's going to give you.
Okay,
but it's an important thing because it's going to unlock a whole lot of abilities for you. Open up parts of the world to you.
Yeah, you don't want to give too much away.
Well, maybe not
for our
quite.
hero Aloy here.
2.5 minutes worth.
Who we were just discussing is like the coolest person ever, so I'm very excited to play Horizon.
I think you said you were in love with her, didn't you?
That might have been you. I don't want to put words in your mouth. I think it might have been you.
I'll admit.
And then tell me a little bit more about in terms of building a world like this. I mean, this must be incredible for the folks at Guerrilla Games, because this is you guys as a team stepping into new territory, and kind of quite literally, because it's so, you know, it's this incredible new world. It's on new hardware. I mean, tell me about what that's like.
I mean, it is a wonderful opportunity. It's by a mile and a half the most ambitious project we've ever done, ever taken on.
Just compared to all your other projects.
Absolutely, compared to doing a launch title for PlayStation 4, it is a very large world. We wanted to go after a different kind of beauty. So the great beauty of Killzone, but now this kind of lush, wonderful, natural world. And again, you know, the new brightness and the new crispness of the image here. I'm just looking at it myself on the screen. I haven't seen a television screen this nice before.
We're going to play it for our audience after we're done talking, so they'll be able to see it. Sure.
And so there's a lot about this project. The fact that it's a new franchise, the fact that we are creating this lead character, Aloy. That is. I think she's able to execute what we're good at Guerrilla, which is tactical combat, right? We kind of honed our skills with Killzone. Now we're letting her go all out and doing that. And that's what this game is about. Combat.
So what are some of the lessons that you as a studio learned from Killzone that, and specifically in combat, kind of apply to Aloy? Because that is still a huge leap, going from like first person, a little more I don't want to say traditional science fiction, not to say that Killzone isn't unique, but now going to sort of almost a post-apocalyptic science fiction here with Horizon.
Well, the thing is, it was Killzone obviously. It was a science fiction game. Horizon is as well, right? It is nothing about that is fantasy. Everything is based on science and what we're doing. Clearly, the machines. I mean, we practiced a little bit with mechs, and we're taking that forward. The machines are a very essential part of this game. But then we started experimenting in the past. Killzone franchise with some more open levels. We're taking it to a seamless, wide open world. There's a lot of things that we're kind of pushing in many different directions. You can see the flying Glinthawks over there, just to add that little character to the world.
The level of distance you get in the image is just incredible, by the way, on the running on pro hardware. But yeah, so tell me a little bit more about the combat then, because, you know, Guerrilla Games prides itself on combat, kind of that deep tactical element.
Absolutely.
There's an element of kind of using your instinct and your senses to, you know, survey the landscape. That seems like it's very applicable here in Horizon.
You look at Aloy compared to these machines. I mean, she's clearly, she has the size difference is massive. She will be typically outgunned, so she will have to be very clever. So preparing for combat is very important. She's got her traps, she's got her tripwires, and then once she engages, it is, I mean, she's very fast, she's very agile, so we're building this whole game. You see the climbing mechanisms, the way she dodges, everything is very fluid, and the combat is supposed to be very fluid. We make it a consistent goal for this project. So it is also important in the combat that she can actually evacuate and re-stealth. She should be able, when there are too many machines of different kinds in her vicinity after her, then she should be able to retract and reconsider. Is she going to re-engage or maybe get out? So it's kind of like preparing, engaging, and then evacuating after if necessary.
And I guess I don't even think about that a lot, is that there is a stealth component to Horizon. I mean, is that important for you guys as a studio to kind of have to balance out those moments of intensity with moments of quiet and planning?
Absolutely. I mean, different players have been playing this game in a very different way. So some people really like to hide out in the tall grass and take...
Just chill.
Well, not
like
really
maybe have
chill and look around. You can do that too, right? But also maybe pick out the machines one by one instead of kind of engaging a whole, or have them, say, a watcher alarm the rest of them. So you get in trouble and a lot of chaos. Some people just like that slower paced combat, and that's fine too. I mean, there's a ton of different ways to play this game, to engage, but also to build up your Aloy.
And then how about in terms of the enemy design? Because that obviously plays a huge role in the combat as well. You're dealing with such they're both familiar and unfamiliar at the same time. Like to me, they kind of course, they're reminiscent of like prehistoric creatures, but they have such an alien element too. I mean, how do you guys deal with designing something like that?
So most of them are based on real life animals.
Yeah.
And there's a purpose to that, because obviously when you see an animal, you expect a certain behavior. And you saw kind of a deer-like or herd-like machines out there, so you expect them to flee when you're after them. But if there's a more aggressive looking animal-like machine that you recognize from the wildlife, then you will be more careful. So there's a purpose to that.
Okay, excellent. Well, I know we're running a little short on time, so I just want to ask you, maybe what is like your final takeaway from this event here in terms of the PS4 Pro? I can't even say it still.
The PS4 Pro. That's right.
PS4 Pro hardware. What is kind of a highlight for you, and what do you feel like is the most exciting thing looking forward for this technology?
What I love about it is that there will be kind of the ultimate offering for people that want to go the extra mile and get a great experience, and they get an even better resolution at get the smoothest possible frame rate. But at the same time, I want to ensure and say if you have a base model PlayStation 4, you've seen your game playable at E3 and people said it looked amazing. I can tell you it's going to look even better when it comes out. So whether you get the baseline model, you get a Ryzen for baseline, or you get it for PlayStation 4 Pro, you can have an amazing experience.
I mean, that's something that we should reiterate before I finally let you go and you can actually mingle with everyone tonight, is that Horizon Zero Dawn is going to be fully playable, beautiful, amazing on the standard PS4 model. But you guys can get a little extra mileage out of that PS4 Pro hardware as well.
I might get one myself.
Really?
Yeah, I might.
I feel like we would just mail it to you or something. Maybe. We'll talk after this, and then maybe I can set you up with something.
Wonderful.
Does that sound okay?
Thank you.
Herman, thank you so much. It was a pleasure seeing you. And now finally, for those at home who have looked at us, I mean, handsome guys, especially this guy here, but maybe we want to look at this instead. Let's give you guys another look at this footage running on PlayStation 4 Pro, Horizon Zero Dawn. Stay with us.
Hey, if you are a member, information, the file, messages, for your friends. Phone number, anytime, 0. Yes.
There's something wrong with my phone, or there's something wrong with your connection. Can you hear me? But it's constantly going in and out where I can hear you, but you'll say something and then it'll go out. Keep talking. Yeah, it's all messed up. I don't know what this is yet. And why don't y'all stop bugging my shit, man? Y'all ain't letting my phone calls go out, man. I can hear you now. Yeah, I can hear you a whole lot better. But I still got echo, but I can do it better. Yes, man, I'm trying to find out. Hold on a second. What I'm trying to find out is why I'm not able to get my medication, man. And I talked to someone over there yesterday, and they told me it was okay for me to go get my medication. So I went back to the same place where they profiled my provider first, and then when I went there, when they was getting ready to give me my medication, I decided I was gonna film it because of the way that I was being treated. And as soon as they saw me filming it, they decided that I couldn't have my medication. They had to check with my doctor first. And then that's when they told me that I overseeded the time frame where I had to renew you guys, me being able to get my medication. But I tell you, like I told them, that's bull crap. Why I say that's bull crap is because somebody should have told me ahead of time to the point where my whatever they call it is with you guys was to just expire. Right or wrong, ma'am?
No, I can do semi-dark number 7 for information transfer to you. The call may be monitored or recorded for quality purposes. Thank you for calling.
Yes, ma'am. My name is John Nelson, and I'm trying to get the reasons why I can't get my medication because I'm to the point now where I'm frustrated, sweetheart. Because when I tell you the date on my medication, you're gonna say, "Well, I should have been had this set." It's just the grace that I created that I'm slacking up on taking the medication simply because of these things like what's happening to me. It's been happening, and it shouldn't be happening. I shouldn't be having no problem with getting this poison that the doctor done gave to me to get every month. Wow, she even was hung up on me. Wow, it's getting crazy and crazy and crazier. This is getting crazier and crazier and crazier. And then he throws the nurse under the bus by saying that the nurse told him that, and that was the reason why they was starting him. That was the reason why they were getting ready to start.
That's nice.
There's no time calling up people.
Good morning. Thank you for calling Warren Healthcare.
Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to find out if it's all right for me to go pick up my medication so I don't be embarrassed again. Because last time I went to go pick up my medication, I was told after my provider went that I couldn't get the medication. And then when they were trying to tell me the reason why I couldn't take the medication, nobody wanted to explain to me. So I knew that they was lying. They discriminated against me on getting my medication. And I'll say to you, ma'am, if a person is given the medication every month and the generic medication didn't work and at the pharmacy where I normally get my medication from, that's all they had was the generic. I went to Walgreens where I was denied my medication from my provider when he got my went to get my medication. And then I was denied when I went to go get my medication. But when I called you guys up, you guys covered Walgreens behind by saying that, oh, my credibility of getting my medication had ran out. I had to renew that. And I said to you guys, just like I said when I called my doctor up and they said they didn't know nothing about this. Why was I not called ahead of time to end up being stuck without the medication for the whole weekend, ma'am?
Okay. And you call from Texas?
I'm calling Houston, Texas.
Thank you for calling Molina Healthcare Texas. Para continuar en español, oprime uno ahora.
Since I've been reported a doctor telling me I was HIV positive when I wasn't, and then he threw the nurse under the bus. I think the nurse told him that, and that was the reason why they were starting me.
To reach a Molina employee directly, you can dial their 6-digit extension, press
medication the next day.
in order
You hear what I'm saying? So I've been getting running around with everything ever since I reported this, and I still have yet for one of you guys to call me up on me reporting that unsatisfactory.
If you are inquiring about your member ID card, please allow 7 to 10 days for delivery. For a temporary ID card, go to myMolina.com and select Print Temporary ID Card from the Member ID Card section. Thank you.
Miss Sandra, I'm kind of getting frustrated with Molina supposed to be health care because I don't see y'all caring at all about my health. And I called up last week basically dealing with this medication situation that I'm having right now. I called you guys up and reported that I reported a doctor for saying that I was HIV positive. And when I realized who the doctor was and who his partner was, and they were trying to get me on HIV medication when I wasn't HIV positive.
Thank you you for calling Molina Healthcare. This is Kristen. How may I help you?
Kristen, instead of me calling you, you sound so happy, and I'm probably gonna put this heaviness on you. All right, I called you instead of calling to the front office again. I called to the pharmacist because it happened to me again, ma'am, and I'm tired of being looking crazy. I sent my provider to go pick up my medication yesterday after you guys told me that it was okay to go pick up my medication, and the people denied my provider my medication again.
Okay, let me go ahead and look at your account and find out why they're denying your medication. What is your Molina ID number, please?
I don't know the ID number offhand, but my birthday is 1st 2769.
01/27/1969.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And what is your name, please?
Is it John Northland?
John Malcolm?
No, Northland. N as in Nancy, O as in Ostrich, F as in Frank, L as in Larry, I as in Indigo, N as in Nancy.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Northland. And is there a suffix to your name or?
Or Thomas or Junior, both of them. But I don't know which one. They probably just got the T.
Thank you very much. And what is the mailing address, please?
12903 Brent Rock Drive, apartment number 703, Houston, Texas 77082.
Perfect. And what would be the best phone number to reach you at?
It'll be that at 832 710 0943.
Thank you very much. And do you happen to know the last four of your social?
4581.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Mr. Northland.
I appreciate your kindness.
Thank you. Let me see. I do see here that you are active and enrolled with their Molina Star plan. Is your doctor still Dr. Arnold Carruthers?
Yes, correct.
Carruthers. Okay, perfect. Good. I do see here, I don't know if they told you before when you called that you are due for the annual flu vaccine. Since the flu season is right around the corner, we want to make sure that you don't get sick. So we do offer the flu shots that's available to you whenever you see your doctor. And let's go ahead and take a look here. It says that you called yesterday, and is this in regards to the Carisco?
Yes, that same medication.
Alrighty.
Because I know I shouldn't have no problem with getting this medication, and I shouldn't be having no problem with no supervisor at no pharmacy. See, and what y'all don't realize is that I have to pay for a ride to go to this pharmacy because I don't have no car. I have a wheelchair.
Okay, so I do see here, so what happened is that they called the pharmacy so they can run the prescription again. So they can run the prescription again and correct the error. But they said that you took your prescription with you, so they couldn't run the prescription. So I guess you went back again today.
Yesterday, it was yesterday. I went on the same day that you guys told me I could go.
Now, do they have your prescription now? So if I call them right now, will they have the prescription so I can try and run it with them over the phone?
Alright, see, that's just it. They gave the prescription to him yesterday.
Okay, and you're going to Experience Care Specialty Pharmacy?
No, I'm going to Walgreens, ma'am. Superior Care Pharmacy is almost 15 minutes away from here. It's in the CBD district where my primary doctor is, where my main doctor is. When I went to Superior Care, they didn't have the medication, so I took the prescription home with me. And then I went to Walgreens, and Walgreens said that since they didn't know that doctor, and my doctor is one of the top doctors in Tier Memorial Herman, since they didn't know the doctor from that area, they had me go they had me go one whole week. If I wouldn't have had some medicine left, I'd have suffered to now. I don't have no more medicine left now. I'm highly peed off because this is happening too much and too many times dealing with these pharmacists, and y'all covering their behinds by saying that this is why this is happening, this is why that is happening. I don't know what's going on with this pharmacy over here, but they need to be checked on how they treating people over there because, like I said again, when they didn't give me my medicine the first time, that man said it was his discrepancy if he wanted to give it to me or not. He said that to me, you see, and that wasn't right at all. And I can't wait up there to get that medication. So like I said again, what do we have to do while I have you on this phone where we can get this done and over with? Because I have the prescription. What can I do with you on this phone to get this done?
Okay, so first of all, Mr. Knopfler, you're getting your prescription. You're trying to get it filled at Walgreens Pharmacy, correct?
Yes, the Walgreens that you see where they put the prescription in, and I guess.
On Westermere Road.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me go ahead and give them a call and find out why they're not giving you this prescription.
And that's all I want to know, because if they have a problem with me, I'm gonna seek out the Better Business Bureau on them, and I just go to another Walgreens. But like I said again, I don't have the money to be going somewhere and someone turning me around.
Alright, Mr. Knopfler, I apologize. Let me go ahead and give
It
them
ain't
a
your
call.
fault, sweetheart. You just too sweet. It ain't your fault, sweetheart. You just too sweet. It ain't your fault. It's just other people being what other people do be to other people that they don't care about because they don't know them.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Mr. Knopfler. Let me go ahead and give them a call. One moment, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
See, most people don't realize to know that we all in this thing together. If one have it bad, eventually we all gonna have it bad because we all in this circle of life together. Shit. Sooner or later, the bad that you do will come back to you. And I just hope that we ain't together. Shit. Cause that's how shit work. But I get that vibration to get away from your ass. Before I end up passing with your ass. I'll be gone. I'll be gone. I'll be gathering them off of these communications, and then I'll be straight as an arrow for real, though. I'm already straight as an arrow side of target knowing to hit in the middle. And I'm as sharp as a razor that cut a half particle down the middle. But just to have shaky hands because all the working out I'm doing to walk again. Hey, total life change is changing that for my ass. I'll be straight drug free. Watch and see. Then I'll show you who the creator is in me. Watch me shine. Not shine to be first, neither. Shine to be second, third, or fourth.
Okay, Mr. Knopfler.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much for holding. I was looking further into this issue, and I do see here that you called yesterday now. I do see here that they spoke to Walgreens Pharmacy yesterday, and basically what happened is that the generic brand for Soma, which is the one you just told me, that Carisoprodol, they were out of stock for it. So they were out of stock for the generic medication, Carisoprodol, and if you wanted the Soma, with the brand name for Soma, the doctor had to send in a prior authorization. Now, I do see here that we called our pharmacy, our Molina Pharmacy Authorization Department, and that you were using multiple pharmacies to get your medication, so that you had to go to Experience Care Pharmacy for this particular.
Hold on. Okay, now this is what I'm about to find out from you guys right now, because this is to me, I'm getting highly teed off behind this type of bull crap. Because when you look at one pharmacy, it's all the way over halfway across town. I gotta go all the way over there to get a medication that I can get from a Walgreens that's right here next to me. That's what you're saying, man?
Well, that's what I am looking here in the system now. I can call our pharmacy authorization department to confirm that information.
Because this is what I'm saying, ma'am. This is what I'm saying. I was given this medication from a doctor. All that's on this prescription should be all that's on this prescription for me to get any medication from whatever pharmacy I would want to go to, simply because I'm in a wheelchair. I don't have access to vehicles like most people have access to vehicles. I got to go exactly where I can go when I get a chance, ma'am. You don't see on your computer where I ever did anything wrong with no medication for to be programmed, to be profiled like y'all profiling me. Because that's exactly how I'm feeling. I ain't never did nothing to dealing with no medication. No how, no way for me to be treated this way.
I'm sorry, sir. We're not. It's just I'm reading here over the notes, and I guess yesterday as well when you called, they were trying to get it filled at the other pharmacy, the Experience.
Well, why would they try to get his field at Experience Care when I already explained to them that I couldn't go to Experience Care because how far Experience Care was away from my house? I told the lady on the phone to have that prescription filled at the same Walgreens where it was tried to be filled at, so I wouldn't have to be going around the world. And that's exactly where my provider went back at. He went right back there. So now you telling me that I can't get, they don't have the generic brand, but they do have the brand that I asked for. You see what I'm saying? Because like I told them, Experience Care, when you get medication from your doctor asks you, how is the medication is working for you? I explained to my doctor the generic version of Somas do not work with me and the hydrocodone with my workout and work size program. It don't work. That's why I get the other Somas. And for that lady to say so what's going on? This is what I want to know. Who do I talk to complain about how these drugs are being issued? Because for somebody to do me exactly like I'm being done right now, they don't do no white people this.
Let me go ahead and look further into this issue. And
I appreciate it, sweetheart.
I just wanted to confirm with you, it's Walgreens Pharmacy that you want to get.
That's where I want to get it filled at Walgreens, because like I said again, Experience Care Pharmacy is, you can look on look at the zip code, sweetheart. Look at the zip code where I stay at, and look where that on Experience Care Pharmacy is at.
Let me go ahead and take a look. Please on a brief hold, Mr. Knopfler, so I can go ahead and...
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Doctors give you this poison, and then when it's time for you to get the poison, you get problems with getting the damn poison. And man, this is a whole bunch of... Boy, I'll be glad when I'm off the medication, because then I don't have to worry about nothing. I ain't had no hinders. I ain't had nothing holding me back from being the best me that I can be, empty without no without no medication. It's a shame, man. Everybody got their own way of doing things, and most of these motherfuckers don't own shit. Don't tell me they don't have a generic brand. And that's for the generic brand. Am I gonna need my doctor to say which brand I need? Bunch of bullshit. I'm gonna speak up for yourself. All you're gonna do is get railroaded and everything. Wow. What a life, boy. I don't know what that is y'all looking at. I might give y'all something good on here. Y'all can listen to. Get y'all in mind right. You like some fucking peasant. Oh. Hey, what's up? White people mad because they getting treated like black people.
Society. In 1994, Mandela made us believe that we were also a rainbow nation, united in our diversity. But today, our politics, our life experiences, even our social circles seem once more to be defined by race. It seems like the Rainbow Nation project has failed. Why? With me to discuss this, Kaya Langa, marketing guru, columnist, currently senior communications manager at Coca-Cola South Africa. Sisonge Simang, a scholar and activist who writes about race and gender justice. Sunette Bridges, Afrikaner musician and activist with Red October, the protest movement made popular by Steve Hofmeyr. Pierre de Vos is constitutional law scholar. And Lebo Mashile, award-winning poet. And in our audience, we have South Africans from all walks of life. Welcome to you all. Now, before we we ask, has the Rainbow Nation failed? Take a look at this.
In our marketing hype, we've been living in the Rainbow Nation for years. But in the real world, achieving reconciliation and creating a society in which everyone has an equal stake was never going to be easy.
We, the first democratically elected government of this country, made reconciliation one of its main planks. Had we not done that, those elements, the right-wing elements that wanted to stop the election by force, probably would have triumphed.
20 years on, South Africa is a middle-income country, but inequality between races is growing.
Okay, now what's the reason why they can't order it?
Because they don't carry that medication. They don't carry it.
Now, see, they gave me this medication once before, sweetheart. You can look on that jacket and see that they filled that prescription once before.
Okay, let me go ahead and verify.
No, look, sweetheart. Is there any other Walgreens I can go to? Don't even worry about that. I go to any Walgreens now, because I will find a way to get to a Walgreens. Because, like I said again, I'm going to report that Walgreens, because I'm feeling very discriminated against dealing with that Walgreens. Because I do have that manager on videotape doing me exactly what he did me. But yes, ma'am, just find out if I can go to another Walgreens. Thank you.
People are 5 times more likely to be unemployed than whites. Racism is not only experienced in the form of poverty and unemployment, it also persists in the social divisions and in people's attitudes. Gloria Kente has been a domestic worker and a nanny for most of her working life, a job that takes her away from her family 6 days a week. In 2006, her employer's partner started abusing her verbally.
You can call me Kafir, a pathetic Kafir, and then he just grabbed me the other day with my pajamas and he spit on my face. And he keep calling me Kafir, I'm a pathetic Kafir, I'm a thief, I'm stealing their land.
In 2008, Gloria laid a charge, but her abuser merely paid a fine and continued to taunt her.
And then he always say to me, I'm acting like a white woman, I forgot that I'm a black.
With help from the South African Domestic Workers Union, Gloria is taking her case to the Equality Court.
I'm happy to do this because I know there is a lot of people that are living in this thing, but they don't want to come out because we don't want to lose our jobs.
Racism is not limited to the poorest South Africans.
Yes, I'm calling about the property that you had advertised on...
Sipho Masonda is a university graduate. When he tried to rent a flat, he was shocked by the response.
But I called this guy who was so bold, he just decided to tell him that, look, the flat is not available to non-whites, quoting him verbatim.
Masonda is a journalist at City Press. He and his colleagues decided to conduct a survey to test if there was racial discrimination by rental agents and landlords.
I think I found about 7. Out of the 7, the 5 were fine with it. But out of the 7, there were 2 which were Afrikaans adverts, rather. So I filmed the Afrikaans adverts. I was bluntly told that the places had been taken. Like 5 minutes later, Yvonne phoned. She spoke Afrikaans and asked for the places. One of them told her the place is still available. She can come in at 4 and view the place. The other one said, no, the place is still available. She can just come in and get the place if she wanted it.
Black South Africans are not the only ones who feel they are targets of discrimination. Following the killings of white farmers, Steve Hofmeyer and other prominent Afrikaners established a protest movement called Red October.
They made a really big hoo-ha about the fact that if white people get together, it's racist, and if white people get together, they're far right-wing, and you are wrong.
Red October is an international march from 7 or 8 countries, about 58 marches. Lots of them, I suppose, from expats that used to live here, that moved for various reasons. to let the world know that our state gives us a deaf ear when we tell them that there is a minority of us still here who refuse to acclimatize to the substandard of life expectancy.
Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu believes that white people need a different kind of leadership.
It is a shame that the white community has not been able to produce a leader who would say to white people, you don't know just how lucky you are. You don't know just how lucky you are that people can still tolerate living in shacks and go and work for white people in beautiful homes and not kill those white people.
Let's just admit it. The Rainbow Nation has failed. The whole idea of non-racialism 20 years on, a pipe dream. In fact, we should blame you marketing guys.
That go to show you right there. You heard that man say. He said you are lucky. See, because he know that God bullshit is just the bullshit that that white man made that God bullshit up. Because really, the love of the Creator is the only reason why most of them white folks are still alive. Because they got some loving people that's stopping them niggas from killing them. Because when you think of some white man living on top of the hill eating caviar and you eating dirt, but he on your land that he stole from your ancestors and he living it up, come on, eventually people get fed up with the bullshit, especially being spit on, shit on, and stepped on. That's a lot happening to a black person that knows that they're more than just some shit to be spit on, shit on, and stepped on. I'm not no race mongler. I believe in the love unconditionally that I feel from the love in Creator, which is not that God bullshit, which is not the fairy tale father or art in heaven bullshit that's saying that there's some man in the sky that's gonna come down and help you out of your bullshit that you done created for yourself. No, I'm just saying, you white people gotta realize, to know, to understand, overstand, understand, to know, to get what's really real. Y'all need to leave. LOVE. Y'all need to leave. LEAVE. Yeah, y'all need to leave. LEAVE. I'm just saying. Think about it. Y'all will die trying to stay there with those niggas, them niggas, knowing that y'all white people came there and pillared their land and killed off the original Africans that stayed there. You can call yourself holding your ground or whatever you want to call it. They're going to be putting you in the ground because you already see what they're doing to y'all farmers already. I'm not damn condoning in none of the bullshit that these niggas doing. But when you look at these niggas, they're just doing what niggas should do when it comes down to what y'all did. I'm sorry. You are in the circle of life. What goes around comes around. You just gotta be ready for the get down when your turn comes. Like that guy that I saw on here had all those animals in his house. And he talking about he believe in God and shit. How could you believe in the Creator and you destroying the creations? That's why that God is bullshit. Because that's what y'all believe in. Just as well as that bullshit is on that paper that you can use to shit on. And that's money. And God we trust is on money. And most of y'all trust money more than y'all trust each other. I'm just saying, y'all are twisted up in the God and Jesus bullshit to the point where it got y'all mind so twisted that y'all don't even think for yourself. Y'all think on the groove that you was put into the think. And what I mean by y'all think about the groove that y'all thinking with is the groove that y'all put into think with is the way that the Creator, which is that white man who created those gods, all those different gods and all those different religions. The loving Creator which is the creativity in you, which is the creator of you, that loves you unconditionally, a feeling that you feel to let you know that you're alive, to have life, free will, to go straight. You have choices. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. No problem. When did that happen? When did that happen? Cause she got to give you some kind of date on that because I ain't never been rejected from care pharmacy on none of my medication. That's why I need a date on that death so I can call up and see why I was rejected. So yeah, find out the date. Find out the date for me, sweetheart. Thank you. Ain't be some bullshit, man. Wow. See, all this is part of my documentary of bullshit that I go through every day. And if it wasn't for me knowing the creator, this would have been ran me crazy. So I know that there's nothing that they can do to me because I'm alive and can't die. I just leave this shell. I just leave this shell to be eternal in the light. I did see, and I felt it too. Because couldn't care for himself right now. what date that was you talking about.
Thank you for calling Experience Care Pharmacy.
Good day, Miss Lady. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you, Mr. Noffer?
I want to know what day was it where I was ever denied those somas from you guys? Because now they're saying that I was denied the somas from you guys, and I can't get my somas filled. It's a big old thing because I just had it out with the pharmacist over there at Walgreens about 4 or 5 days ago when they profiled Dave when Dave went to go pick up my medication, but I guess he wasn't looking appropriate to their standards. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, then hold on, Mr. Noffer. I'm going to transfer you over to my technician.
Thank you.
She's going to look that up so she can give you the exact date then.
Thank you. Because I got them looking for it, but they can't find it. Thank you.
No problem. Hold on one second. You know your time is valuable. Thank you for holding. Someone will be with you as soon as possible. Thank you for calling, Mr. Noffer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you want to know what was the last time the summons got rejected here when we filled it for you?
Right, because they saying now that I went to numerous Walgreens, went only Walgreens. I mean, yes, ma'am.
Hi, thank you very much for holding, Mr. Laughlin. So I did speak to one of our pharmacy verification technicians, Jose, and he stated that there was a rejection for the Carisoprodol at Experience Pharmacy on 8/30/2016.
Okay, and what was that reason?
And the reason was because they did not have the correct doctor's information.
All right, now we got all that clear yesterday. So I'm saying, why now you saying that I need a prior authorization and I can only go to Experience Care to get my medicine? And I already explained to you that Experience Care is a long ways away from my house, and no one is gonna give me gas money to go way up there. And it was as easy as your supervisor told you that I have to go all the way to Experience Care. That's just to go show you how much Melina don't care that I didn't get my medication when I was supposed to, and I still haven't got my medication now.
Okay, so Mr. Nuffin, I was just trying to, I was reading on the previous notes and I just wanted to get further clarification to see if in fact you were lost to a pharmacy because that was on the notes. Now they stated that you're not lost to a pharmacy. So I cleared that information. Now you stated that you wanted to go to Walgreens Pharmacy, so I called Walgreens Pharmacy to see why they wouldn't give you a prescription there. And when I called Walgreens Pharmacy and I spoke to Nancy, she stated that they don't carry the Carisoprodol on stock there.
Well, and I heard you on that, sweetheart, and I thank you for that there. So I can go to a Walmart or a place like that that is close to my house that I can roll my wheelchair to?
Yes, so did you, was you
Yes, I have with me.
So from my understanding, you're not lost to a pharmacy. From what Jose told me at our registration department is that you can go to any pharmacy. They just have to process it correctly with the correct doctor's information.
Okay, now, shouldn't that be on the prescription? Isn't that on the prescription?
It should. It's just
Yeah, because like I said, again, sweetheart, it's on the prescription. Walgreens didn't want to do that because of the altercation that I have, and that's the same reason why they say they don't have it now. So I'm saying that everything is on the prescription. Y'all was just covering up for them doing what they did to me before, because I know that I never ran out of not being able to get no medication with no authorization, because all my medication come with authorization dealing with that barcode that's on the prescription. Am I right or wrong? Mm-hmm. Yep. Because I know it got a code on there. That's the code that they use for the doctor. And like I said again, sweetheart, what they doing me at Walgreens is wrong. But I'm gonna roll my wheelchair to whatever pharmacy that I can get to close to my house. And if anything happens to me trying to get to a pharmacy after all this that I done been through, to say that I went to that Walgreens twice. I went to it once after you guys told me that I could, and then my provider ended up going, and it's crazy why I don't have my medication still. So if I ever sit in another situation, I'll give y'all a call again tomorrow, and I appreciate it. Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Can I apologize?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now the Walgreens pharmacy, the one on Westermere Road, that's the one that stated that they don't have.
Right. Like I said again, that's a little far from my house too. I'm gonna try to roll my wheelchair to one closer to my house. You know, it's just that I wanted to go back to that one there because that was the one that my provider went to when the other Walgreens didn't have it. They told him that they were fully stocked with it, and he went there, and that's when they told him no. And that's when I ended up calling you guys, and you guys told me to go back to that pharmacy, and I did, and they told me no. And then I called you guys up again, and you guys said I could go back there, and my provider went back there yesterday, and they told him no. And that's why I called you today, because I'm going to report this pharmacy, because I have on tape what that pharmacy supervisor did me, and it was horrible. But he didn't know I was rolling. But like I said again, it is what it is, and I see how I'm being discriminated against because of the way that I look. I don't have to put my teeth in my mouth. I don't have to comb my hair. Nobody don't have to profile me as no crackhead or nothing like that because I might look like one. That ain't right. That ain't right at all. But I thank you, sweetheart. You're a sweetheart. And like I say again, this don't have nothing to do with you. This has something to do with bad people. So if I have a problem, I will give y'all a call tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Knopfler. I apologize.
No problem, sweetie.
Now, also, Mr. Knopfler, if it makes it easier, they do give you any issues at whichever pharmacy that you're going to go to. Give us a call. I'm not sure if you have cell phone, but give us a call if you are at the pharmacy office. That way we can, communicate and fix the issue while you're
Okay, yeah, probably not today because y'all about to go home. So yes, I'll do that probably tomorrow if I can.
Okay. All right, well, Mr. Knopfler, I hope everything works out. Please call us if there's any further issues, and I appreciate you calling Molina Healthcare. You have a wonderful day.
And you do the same. Thank you. Bye bye. Yes, ma'am. So you hear what I'm going through just to get a poison that the doctor gave to me, and I'm so glad that I'm getting a hold to this type of medication, because if I wasn't taking it exactly how I'm realizing my body needs to take it, when this happened to me, I wouldn't have had nothing left. Do you hear me?
Okay. Yes.
So I appreciate you staying on the phone until I got that straight with her, because I want to hear she wanted to tell me what date, because she said a date, and that's the date that I asked you to run it, remember?
Yes.
But anyway, like I said again, I thank you for being there for me too, because hey, if I don't have a pharmacist that gives just a little care about me, I've been overdose on some of the medications. That's why I'm glad I'm only on two now. And when I get ready to shake, the somas and the hydrocodone, but I do a lot of working out because I'm gonna have to stand up to give y'all a hug. Shoot, just to show people that I'm with the Creator. All right, then. Thank you, sweetheart. You have a beautiful rest of your day.
You're welcome. Thank you. Do the same. Bye-bye.
Well, people, let me put this back on for y'all. Shit.
Came up with it and then you exploited it for your own commercial gain.
No, I don't think that marketing, came up with it. In fact, it was Archbishop Tutu came up with it.
And you
Remember,
exploited
and he
it.
was like, the Rainbow Nation. Of, that's,
Yes.
he
And then you
phrase.
exploited it.
I'm not even going to talk about marketing. I can understand what Mandela was trying to do, what, Archbishop Tutu and them were trying to do, but you are not going to get that done in like 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years. Because when you used to sing a black person as a garden boy your whole life, and you are not used to seeing a black person as an intelligent person who can think for themselves, who can produce and do things, then you are not likely to accept them as someone who's equal to you.
Sangam Samang, it's a long-term project, right? So we must just be patient.
No, I think that the concept of being patient assumes that there isn't an urgency to it. So while at the same time, I think we all recognize that non-racialism is a work in progress, we need measures now that address the very real situations in which people are living. We cannot accept, as Archbishop Tutu says, that because of the color of your skin, you will be born, you will live a certain kind of life, and you will die in that same station. My children go to a nursery school, and in that nursery school, there's not a single one of the preschool teachers who is not white. And there's not a single one of the teaching assistants who is white. So the message every single day for those women, there is a ceiling, and until this changes, you will never get this job.
Select Bridges. Why do we need a Red October movement? I mean, we have 30 million black people in this country who don't have a plate of food. Wouldn't it be better for you to fight that? Would that not make you a little bit more secure, as you heard from Desmond Tutu, that white people in this country are lucky?
I don't agree with what Desmond Tutu said, firstly, at all. And I don't think we can prescribe to tell people what they can and cannot march for. People become involved in projects and march for things that are important to them. There are people marching 6 marches per day in this country, violent ones. And then it is very easy to make an insert, like the one that was played before the show, where the fact that there is white poverty is completely denied, ignored. I, in fact, don't think that most of the people here know that there are white squatter camps.
So why not partner then with the other people who are in squatter camps who are fighting for similar things to those white South Africans who live in squatter camps? Why segregate yourselves?
No, part of Red October had to do with affirmative action, broad-based black economic empowerment. These are discriminatory laws. There are 1 million people, white people, left in the job market in South Africa. So even if you took every single one of their jobs, if you took every single white job away from them and gave all of those 1 million jobs to a black person, then you will just have 1 million more white people that are poor.
But no one's asking for 1 million jobs to be taken away from white
It is
people.
happening. It is, in fact,
No,
happening.
no one's asking for
It seems to me the height of self-indulgence for white people to go on and on about affirmative action in the face of so many very real and pressing national problems. And I think part of what's going on with the affirmative action kind of hang-up that white people have is it's the one area since democracy came where white people were forced to not be allowed to state their case and to win that particular fight.
Nah.
And so part of how racism works is that we view white people's pain as more important than black people's pain, right?
Sinead?
No, that's not true at all. You view us as thinking that our problems are more important, and then we think that you think that your problems are more important. And that's the problem that we have. And can I finish, please? Because you and I should have coffee, and then you can sort out your personal issues with me. I'm not denying that there are hectic problems in this country that need to be addressed. But we can also not deny the fact that very many of these problems are service delivery, maintenance problems due to cadre deployment, affirmative action. Because people have been put into positions that they are not qualified to do, and the country is falling apart.
When we talk about these things, it always seems to me that the reality of living in South Africa passes some people by, like Sunette. And you can throw out certain statistics, like 18% of white people live in so-called squatter camp.
Have you ever been to a white squatter camp? Yeah.
If you actually follow statistics that are scientifically taken, then you see, for example, that after 1 year of graduation, a white graduate is about 10 times as likely to have gotten a job than a black graduate. Why is that?
Absolutely. But there is the reality of hundreds, if not thousands, of white farmers being killed on their farms. We can't ignore it.
If you are a black person living in Khayelitsha, your life is far more at risk than any white person living anywhere. Me as a middle-class white person driving in a car, the threat to my existence for crime is far, far less than if you are a poor and black person, because of the way in which apartheid structured our society.
In terms of the answer that you've given and so on, you talk about racism against black people. You also talk about white farmers being killed. Whilst there's no mention that the second largest population group in this country, not being white, them being colored, is so neglected. We've got the highest incarceration rate. So we are so caught up between a white black debate and so on, and this ideal, the zebra debate, this ideal where we want to grow to in terms of a rainbow nation is, so to say, denied, because we are leaving behind the people who are originally in this country.
Let me ask you this. When the racial categorizations are made in this country under, for example, black economic empowerment, employment equity, colored people fall under black people, why do you feel the need? No. Yes, let me finish my point and then you can respond. Why do you feel you must hold on to that identity, and why it then leads to the exclusion that you're talking about?
There can be many reasons, but the sole reason is we are a social construct in this country. Secondly, constitutionally, we have the right to associate us with whomever we want to. Yes. We are coloreds. There's nobody representing us here. I'm just asking for fairness. I'm saying if we are really serious about speaking about racism, let us give each other a fair chance. Let us say there must be a black person, there must be a colored person, a white person, an Indian person. But you can't say let's talk seriously about racism, but you exclude us.
All right. Dr. Mulder, if you could stand up for me.
The Rainbow Nation is in trouble, in serious trouble. When we started the constitution writing process in 1995, I was present as a member of parliament. An ad was put out to the public to say, what is South Africa about? It said, at that time, 20 million women, 18 million men, 8 religions, 25 church denominations, 31 cultural groups, 14 languages, 9 race groups, 1 country. And if you look at the audience today, that is the reality of South Africa. The question is, how do we deal with that reality? How do we take South Africa forward and create a society where we can live in peace and harmony and take our country forward? Now, my fight is not so much with our friend from Coca-Cola. My fight is with a friend from South African breweries. The impression is created of this wonderful rainbow nation. We see that every Saturday in sporting advertisements. The true problem is that the recipe for nation building in South Africa is wrong. We cannot stumble from one sporting event to the next and think we're going to build a nation in terms of people feeling that they belong, that they are accommodated. That's why the Minister of Sport reacted so terribly about Bafana, calling them useless idiots. Why? He hoped that they would win the cup and the ruling party can ride on that sentiment until the election. That's what he hoped.
Sammy, do Indian people feel the same way as colored people, that they are excluded, that they are a separate group and should be dealt with separately?
Well, I don't know. I'm not here as an Indian person. I'm here as a black South African woman. The problem, I think, is that in the first few years of our democracy, the ANC had a discussion which they called the national question about.
I'll stop it right there and say this to you. This is what you call reverse racism. This is where your niggas got the power. This is where your niggas show their ass. This is where I say to you white people, you won't last. But I say to you niggas, y'all need to love each other more. I already know y'all won't kill these white folks. Y'all love these white folks too much. Y'all love these white folks more than y'all love yourself. But I say, be safe and not sorry, white people. Run for the hills. Because they coming for y'all ass. Them people, them niggas mad. I'm just saying. This is the reverse nation here. It's some funny shit to watch.
To the question of race. But as time went by, after the Mandela presidency, the ANC abandoned that because there were other priorities in the country, and rightly so. And what you then had is people retreating into their lagers. So what you have is people like Sunette and my black brother Trutth there, who believe that they are different. And there is no intelligent debate in this country other than what we're doing now on how to deal with these issues and how to help people like this to see that their problems are no different from everybody else's problems. And that when you talk about squatter camps in this country, it's more to do with class rather than a few people, that feel that they need to be treated differently and that their problems need to be treated differently.
I don't know. It's a huge project. This. Building this country, not fighting with each other and not pointing fingers. Why are we not in this together? I think the defining chord that runs through South African identity is the sense of exclusion. If you're poor and black, you feel excluded. If you're white and your ancestors were colonialists, you feel excluded. If you're multiracial, if you're colored, and your ancestors were slaves and colonialists, you feel excluded. Everybody in this country feels like they're being pushed out of the box of South Africanness. Our country was built on 350 years of systemic violence. Systemic violence, misogyny, and the exclusion of people. When we start to deal with the emotional, psychological, and spiritual baggage of that, then we'll start to form a country, we'll start to form a nation. But that is real, deep, inner, emotional, loving work. We need to start speaking from a place of
love.
From a place of love for self, from a place of love for our children, from a place of
love from the Creator, being unconditionally the feeling that lets you know that you're real,
We've got
nigga.
to want something better than what we have,
Yeah.
and want it more than we want to be right. And when we return, we hear from gardeners who have been victims of racism here in Johannesburg. This is The Big Debate. And welcome back to The Big Debate on Racism. A black South African can expect to receive approximately 13 cents for every rand received by a white South African. That's up 1 cent since 1994. Some of those workers paid the least are domestic workers, cleaners, and gardeners. Trutth University has outsourced some of these workers to save money. Let's speak to one of them.
Yeah, ke berekela university is outsourced, so a gone treatment tse di tshwanetseng tse di bontshang gore re batho re tšeo ka batho. I mean, if you like racism,
I could read, I would read it to y'all.
I mean, if it's batho ba sa sebeletsang ba golang 1,200 rand or 2,000 rand ka kgwedi, which means I want to go there as a university even ka yona I engage or I need in order what is civilization if you can come home.
Okay, so nibhatala kancane futhi anikwazi ungena kwi-toilet zonke eze-university anikwazi ungena like that.
No, library abadumeli batho ba tsena ka library especially as or as outsource. But previously ga ba sa dumeli even batho ba ya go toilet go toilet ba batla batho ba sebedisa toilet e1. Racism is inequality.
I'm listening to everything that's been going on, and everyone is talking like us, the colors. No one is talking about us. We, the black people, being oppressed. Oh, there's white poverty. No one is talking about the white poverty. And I think the issue is resources over racism. Everyone thinks that there aren't enough resources for me. And what happens, even if you look at other countries, I look at Greece, for example, Look at Russia. The moment they experience a recession, what happens is that they start attacking foreigners.
Of course, there's a resource problem. But in essence, the whole question, why can't we just get along, sit in a circle and sing Kumbaya? It is all about power. Who has the power? And power is not only whether you have political power. It's whether you have economic power, yes, whether you have social power. If you have a white skin in a racist society, you have more social power. And it's a nasty concoction of things that makes it very difficult for people to come together as equals.
Now, so are you admitting then that by virtue of having a white skin, that you have a level of power that I, with my black skin, wouldn't?
I do, socially. For example, if I go into a shop, I know that no matter if I come from the gym, if I go to the gym, when I'm dressed properly, nobody's going to assume that I am somehow up to mischief. If I'm a black person and I go to the same place, people are going to...
I wonder whether we're willing to cede our I-ism, our colorism, our Indianism, our blackism, our whiteism, our Africanism, in the interest of an African identity, which is something that I think is far more compelling than the kind of silos that we are trying to construct. I think that there's no getting away from the fact that the project of apartheid was very linked with white capital expansion. I think it would be more useful to frame our conversation around rather affirmative action, corrective action, because what are we doing? We are correcting what has gone wrong. Reconciliation is not just about, I'm so sorry, I love you, you love me. No.
All right, Sinead, embracing your African identity, please speak to that first before you make the other point.
Yes, absolutely. We started this conversation with regards to the Rainbow Nation. There cannot be a rainbow if we do not embrace the fact that we are several different cultures, we speak different languages, we have different traditions, and that was the plan, is for each of those to be preserved so that together it will be a really nice picture. But it all just became one big grey mess, and majority takes everything. And you cannot deny that. You cannot deny the fact that tribalism is alive and well, and I actually think it's a good thing. I mean, Zulu people they own 37% of Natal in the Ingonyama Trust, and nobody knows that the Zulus have an entire homeland in the brand new South Africa. But let them have it if they want, but then give it to us as well.
I want to stay with this point about the rainbow and everybody having their own piece, and maybe you want to speak to that because you want to raise the issue of the Khoi.
Yeah, I just want to start by saying a question. Did the Rainbow Nation fail? It was never successful because it was never reality. You see, since Codesa, this was a black and white talk. You've sidelined us.
So are you saying that there were no colored people, no Khoi people around the table at Codesa?
We are not included. We are not even like it's here.
They were there.
You have seats. You have seats for white and black.
Sir, could we stick with the topic, please? At Codesa, there were colored people, there were people of Khoi descent.
This is not a rainbow nation. We are the rainbow nation, the ones who are being pushed aside. The rest is a zebra nation.
Teresa, I want to go into our workplaces because we've talked about the insert specifically looked at your overt racism. But we're working in the same environments, right? We're all in the same offices. How are we interacting?
Pretty negatively, unfortunately. I mean, after 20 years, one would have hoped there would have been more progress in terms of integration. You know, if I look back 20 years when we first started doing this work, there was definitely far more overt racism. I find it's now a far more covert thing. It's as if we can't talk about race, especially as white people. And until we have this discussion, especially in the workplace, until we negotiate and talk to each other, we're never going to build unity. This is our 20th year of democracy, and we're still hearing about me and my red October movement, and me and my little colored thing. Why?
Now I stop it right there to say this here. Want to call my boy Troy up. In order for us to come together, first got to be thrown out the window. Meaning, none of y'all sons of bitches to be first. Because don't none of y'all deserve to be first. Because can't none of y'all stand in the shoes of the divine one and only creator. So, second to the creator, as far as being one of the greatest creations of all, a conscious thinking human being here living out a human experience in his rental suit. You gotta realize, in order to even care, really care about somebody, you gotta love yourself eternally to know who the creator is in you. In order for you to shine the divine light, which is the only sun light that shines above all life, the one and only sun, spelled S-U-N. But the U is a half circle, but it's a whole circle because it's the circle of life and it's the only one sun. If anything happens to it, all life here on earth is done. Y'all don't know that. I know this. I know this because I went into the light, which was brighter than the sun, to go all dark. But me to know, to feel where I was, to feel the love for where I was at, to know I want to go back, to say I'm back here to do a job, and not to tell y'all the truth, but not to tell y'all the truth of what hell really is in you, because that's a surprise for yourself. The truth is, the love unconditionally that you feel from the creator is real, because you do feel, am I right or wrong? But that God bullshit was the bullshit for you to believe in, so you could never know what's right in you, for you to think for you. That's why you think there's a God in the sky that's going to come out of the sky and send some Jesus here to save you. Save thyself, which is the creator in you. The creativity in you is the creator of you. That spark before the smoke of fire. That loving feeling that lets you know that you are alive, baby. So it's time for you to reboot that original computer, which is your brain, and start loving everything. Meaning, what goes around comes around. Let somebody else come around with their madness go around back on them. You continue straight in love as a creator of the creator. I'm just saying. This is some real talk right now. Real shit. We need to come together. I'll break it down one more to you. One more again. It's not one together, it's two together. So let me break it down to you. If you don't know the reason why we have two hands instead of just one, because the creator made it that way. Because two hands are better than one when the creator has none and working through you to get the job done. And that's help each other out.
Educate each other.
But isn't what Sinette's saying is that we need, she's talking about the rainbow, but she's saying everybody in there needs to have their own space, and she feels that they don't have their own space.
Well, I think that, we have so much space. As white people, we have benefited hugely, and we still benefit every day from apartheid. It's nonsense to say we don't.
Part of what happens in these conversations, and I spent many years of my life working on gender issues and working as a gender trainer. So you'd come and have a discussion about what men and women and how women have less power than men. The men in the room would say, but you're not acknowledging the places where you have improved. And it would make feminists, myself included, feel very defensive. But the reality is that if I am not able to acknowledge that as a black person who has one of the most fantastic educations in the world, has access and political networks, and walks into a room with confidence and will get the CEO position regardless of affirmative action, right? If I don't acknowledge that I have power, right, then we're not having an honest conversation. And then Sinette and my brother over here get upset because the reality is there has been an increase of some black people's power. There has been a new black elite that has formed.
So should we then change the way that we do black economic empowerment, change the way that employment equity is done? So me and you, who have already benefited,
no longer benefit from.
What I'm saying, so I believe in affirmative action.
Yes.
Okay? Because I'm also not, I'm not a black person who is so individualistic as to say my power and my access means that no one else must have. What I am saying is that a mature conversation on race also recognizes there are different types of power, and that there are shades and nuances in the conversation about power. And when I can accept my own privilege, that in a new South Africa, the cachet of being an articulate black person has a certain type of power, if I can accept that and acknowledge that, then I can have a conversation with Lynette, because I've given a little bit of what she's talking about, and then I hope she can also hear me, right?
You agree. I agree very much with what she's saying. I think it's about owning the truth of your own story with all of its complexity. So for me, as again, as an educated middle-class woman, I know that when I walk into spaces, I carry a certain currency that is not carried by my brother who can't pee in a toilet that I peed in when I went to bed, you know?
Exactly.
But at the same time, I also acknowledge that when I do walk into spaces, for example, going into very poor, disenfranchised communities, I also have to acknowledge that the dysfunction that I see that exists in those communities is part of my historical baggage. I carry it within me. It's in my family. It's in my heart. It's in my choices. And what is worrisome is seeing people who own so much power in terms of land, in terms of resources, in terms of people you employ, in terms of the language that you've taken from these people and used to create a nation.
Stop right there again, people. I want you to think about this. If something was taken from you, but really not from you, but from your ancestors, and then it's flashed in your face every day, and then you finally get on top of things, I'm sorry. That wrong that's in the man, that wrong that's in all of us, motivates the wrong side of you when it comes down to having the power over someone else that you feel is beneath you. But that's where you got to come off of, people. Don't see no one beneath you. Always see that one above you. Meaning, always see that one in the love from the Creator, which is above. Always see that light in that wrong to make it right. Because only you can know exactly what you can do to diffuse any situation. Because you have free will to. When you willing freely to go straight to righteousness, which is the creator of creation, is for you to do right and not worry about it being a life or death type of situation. Because you already know you are good. If you die in the good that you do, which the good that you do, which the good that you will go to in your afterlife. And you will get to remember what you did here when you die right. Because the truth is the truth. Slippery, so lies can't hold on. Lies just slide off. And the truth carries on. In a loving, perfect world of the creator of all life. But man was given choices. When man was given free will to will his life whichever way he wants to will it for free, man have a choice to do right. Man have a choice to do wrong. But the creator is going to always be straight. There is no left, there is no right, and there is no backwards when it comes down to the love that the creator feels for the creation. I'm just saying, y'all got to open up yourself to know who the divine is in you for you to have control over your mind, to consciously think about everything that you do. Because after you come out of a deep sleep, you are consciously awakened to tell the truth. But it's on you to lie.
So much power, but
But do you concede that? Do you acknowledge that? Do you own that? If you owned a little bit of that, it would be easy to come to the table with you. It would be easy to acknowledge death is death, pain is pain. I mean, there were 350 years of conscription in this country. It's only one generation of white men who didn't go into the military. How much pain exists in white families? I'd be willing to hear that. More than I'm willing to hear that your pain is your pain only, because everybody in this room is carrying pain.
But I don't believe the debate from our side. 20 years into this democracy, the debate from our side has never been to negate your pain, nor has it ever been about saying that we want back to where we came from. White people voted for this democracy.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
Yes,
No, they didn't, sister. No, they didn't.
Yes.
A handful. Did you vote ANC in 1994?
I'm not talking about the ANC. Please listen. In 1992, white people had a referendum to decide whether they're going to allow the vote. And we gave the vote because we thought that what was happening was
wasn't yours to give. Do you acknowledge that? It was not your country to take in the first place. We acknowledge the fact that you are here.
Don't stand up, Joe. Don't stand up, Joe. Come on. You got too many of y'all in that room. You got too many of y'all in that room. Don't stand up. Come on, man. That's dominating the room. Don't stand up. Come on, my black people. Come on, my black people.
Are saying we don't belong here.
Okay, no one can hear you at this point, so I'd like to actually have a conversation, and I'll ask for tolerance in this room, please. Tolerance. All right, Sinet?
What I'm saying is that I don't think the problem is with people on the ground, even the people sitting here. People who govern and politicians are determining the success of what is happening on the ground. We have rhetoric where people go on stages and say the colonists must go and we stole the land and we stole the mines. The Brits took the mines. Buddha never had mines. And we can't keep on having that rhetoric and move forward. Every time I switch on a television, I put on a radio, and Julius Malema says that we don't belong here, and what is happening? It's a problem. You cannot preach reconciliation to one segment of the country and preach empowerment to the other segment.
All right.
There's a vast difference between, and I agree with you, there's a vast difference between rhetoric that's used to manipulate the population and sway people and the truth. Né? And I would be interested in hearing how white people process the emotional baggage of what their ancestors did. I would be interested in trying to understand what it did to white families. How much silence did white people have to cope with? How did white people build a shield around themselves to be able to deal with the system in which whiteness operated all these years? That's an emotional conversation. That's a delicate conversation. I'd be willing to do the work of trying to unravel that, because right now as a black person, I'm trying to do the work of unraveling my own baggage, my own historical baggage. I think when white people start to do that work, then we'll start to begin the project of trying to understand how all of us belong to this place. But you can't erase history. We can't pretend the violence didn't happen. We can't pretend colonialism didn't happen. We can't pretend people weren't slaves. We can't pretend our people are not poor. It happened. It happened. I'd be willing to hear white people say, you know what, it was stuck trying to pretend that this situation was normal. But I'm not hearing white people do that work.
All right. What was that? All right. When we return, a poetic moment. Don't go away.
South Africa is a fractured mirror, a paradox of schizophrenic selves who don't talk to one another, who coexist together but don't live with each other. And this is the time when you can become the greatest substance of your dreams, unless you live in a shack and don't speak English and don't know what this poem means. Tell me how it's possible for people who walk on gold to not know how to read. South Africa is an old-fashioned mutt who knows how to sing and knows even better how to cuss, who knows how to pray when she's about to run out of luck, who knows how to laugh really hard when the tears have run her into a rut, who knows that race is a farce because when the lights are off, everybody's...
There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of... I don't hear hope yet. I don't know about you, but I don't hear hope yet.
Hope never
I
comes.
hear it.
Hope never comes.
I hear it. Just
Hope
us
never
being
comes.
here, having
Hope
this
never
conversation
comes.
together,
Hope never comes.
getting
You
to the
gotta
space that we
move.
need to get to as
You
a
gotta
nation. It will
move.
take a
You gotta
very long
move.
time.
You
It's
got to
not
make
child's
the
work.
move.
For
Your
me
will
to sit and
is the
listen
will
to
the
Sunette,
way
listen
to
to Pierre,
doing what's
listen
right.
to
You can't hope your way
Sonke
to it.
and to Lebu, and hear the various voices and digest the message that comes from them. I feel pained. I feel their pain. But at the same time, I feel there's hope because we're talking about it. We put a plaster on a gunshot wound in this country. That's what we did. And that needs to stop. We need to talk to each other and then come to a space of understanding.
Because you're with the EFF.
Yes, I am with you.
Explain that to me.
Well, I explained in a simple fashion that in this country we've got more than 70% of the nation that's living in utter poverty. And if you go into the townships and especially in the squatter camps and you say how our children are living, we're talking about kids. We're not talking about black, white, color. We're talking about kids. So when I look at the economic freedom fighters, we are looking at changing this country to bring it into a social system where there will be no class, where the state can take control and we can live in a society where everybody can be brought up to the same level. The thing of the Rainbow Nation that it did work, reconciliation can only work if we both reconcile. You cannot have Nelson Mandela giving forgiveness for a racist group of people that oppressed black people in the apartheid era and say, let us forgive them. They don't come forward and say, yes, we accept your forgiveness, let's reconcile with each other. They don't do that. We still have people in the audience here. We still have people in the audience here, like a gentleman there when she was talking about the black people being more educated and can actually contest for a position. I heard a comment say, yeah, let's kill them. It's those comments that makes people to be killed on farms also. Because when you undermine a black person in this country, they are going to kill you.
I'm Myrtle Wetboy and I'm from the South African Domestic Workers Union. It's not about color. It's not about whether I'm a colored. It's whether I'm a human being. And I think we need to do that. Do you know the pain of a domestic worker? Do you know what it is to be isolated in the backyard of employers? To sit there when the employer go out with their beautiful cars and I remain in the backyard. I was there in the apartheid years. But one man came out and he forgives. At that time, I was in the struggle. I did not say I was a colored. I did not say Mandela is black. We were fighting for freedom. That is what we were doing. I did not classify myself as a colored. And when Comrade Mandela came out, he said there's black and there's white. And since that day I walked that path. I am black. And I am proud of it. If we want to free ourselves, we must free ourselves from this color thing. We're not going to become free because we are bitter.
We are oppressed even in our working place.
I won't put it back because I messed it up. But I want to say this here. Until you free your mind of what she said, the color, you're going to be stuck on the colors. Because the true thing is, I don't care how black your heart is, it's still going to pump red blood. Just like I tell those kids on Grand Theft Auto, that controller gives you that vibration for a reason. to throw your vibration off. Your vibration is already low because you don't even know what your vibration is yet. And you're a kid. But I'll say it again. That game is there to do exactly what that game do. It makes the kids violent thinking, violent acting in a game that they think is not really doing them nothing. But it's doing them a lot. It's doing them a lot. That's why I'm on there talking to them, and I'm going to keep on talking to them. Because if I can just get one, I got what I need to get.
I came out, he said there's black and there's white. And since that day I walked that path. I am black. And I am proud of it. If we want to free ourselves, we must free ourselves from this color thing. We're not going to become free because we are bitter.
We are oppressed even in our working place. Our employers don't recognize us. We raise the children. But you find that at the end, you dismiss, you are stealing, my pant is missing, my sugar is missing.
There's a certain amount of people which wants to create a nation of unity. And then there's us, the Boers. We don't take part in this. And we're not going to. And we're not going to go away. And we're the rightful owners of this land. So,
you don't believe that shit yourself.
So that doesn't mean we doesn't see the sunshine over other people. Okay, if you go back in history, you would actually see that the Boers have negotiated with the tribal chiefs and the kings, and we have see them as equal.
I want to stop right there and say this. You see how people can believe their own lie if you lived in it long enough? I'll say it again. Do you see how people can believe their own lie if they lived in it long enough? I'm saying like this. They've been living that lie a long time. Let's see if I got this right.
Peace. Now,
carry on. We can hear you.
If we want to share one country, we must first accept the realities.
Help me understand something. If we're going to live in the same country, but you don't want unity, how do we do it?
We never wanted unity.
No, I accept what you're saying. I accept that. That's what you said. What I'm saying is, then how do we live in one country?
Oh, that's very easy, okay? We can live in this country happily if we have proper borders. So, if and the Tswanas have their land, and the Zulus have their land, we do not want to mix leaf Jobert for the cosmopolitans and all this
Sounds like a war tape.
Yes, properly, yes.
Okay. All right. Let me hear what my panelists have to say. Mr. Langa?
Yes. These two. This is intimidation.
I'm not going because you say I'm going. I don't care. Please.
First and foremost, we are human. We are people. We happen to have color. And I think that is the one crucial thing we always forget. At the end of the day, we'll bleed, we die, we get hungry, we hurt, we're in pain. And the issue really comes when you start comparing each other's pain. That my pain is worse than yours. And I think what happened today, we've had some very heated discussions. We've had some people leaving, and I think that's perfect. Because it means we're starting to be honest with ourselves as South Africans. So what's happening when people are not...
Now I say to y'all this here, and hear me well. None of y'all could ever say the Creator's name in vain when you look at, you're not supposed to say the Creator's name in vain. And God is not the Creator's original name. The Creator's original name is love. But that's not what you could not know. Your feelings is the Creator. Love is the only word that you can say in vain. When you tell someone you love them, but you don't feel the same. When they find out that you don't love them, that hurts. That changes their whole world. Your feelings is what you stand alone on with the Creator of you. Love. You the only one that knows the truth about what you do. The Creator in you gave you free will to do all that you do. That makes you true to knowing the loving Creator is in you. You just have to activate that light, that spark, that feeling that lets you know that you're alive. You have to activate it to go straight in doing what's right, to appreciate being alive. But knowing that there is no Father bullshit, no God bullshit, no Jesus coming back, all that shit was a lie. It's just mind-boggling. So many people is still on it. But like I said again, as a kid, you think as a kid and you do childish things. But once an adult, it's time for you to put those childish things away and start thinking different. Think about, as a kid, fairy tales, make-believe, bullshit. In school, it's teaching you how to believe in more bullshit. But the truth is, you feel everything that happens to you in this big old bowl of bullshit. But once you know that the love, unconditional feeling of the Creator is the creativity in you, which is you being a creator yourself, I'm just saying, time to open your eyes and reboot that original computer, people. Start feeling good about yourself, knowing that you got the power to change shit because of the vibrations is in the air, baby. And I love you.
With the reality and the truth, they will go away. But at some point, they're going to have to come back. And I wanted to actually ask the gentleman over there who says that, like, you know, like there needs to be like a certain place for the boys, like, you know, toilets and all that. How do you feel if your daughter decided to marry a black man? How do you feel about that?
I cannot see that happen.
No, I'm saying if she wanted to.
No, then it's her choice. Then she go off in life with her choices and she live with it. I don't see you as a lesser person. I only see you as a different person than my culture, and I love my own.
When you're looking at the South African coat of arms,
love is
it talks about
one way, free.
People,
You don't separate
it is
who
not a
you love
suggestion, it's a command.
as far
It's
as
like diverse
races.
people unite. And I think we actually forget that this is what we're supposed to do as South Africans, that we're supposed, yes, the acknowledgement of our diversity is there, but we have to unite, unite diversity.
What happens is conversations about race tend to attract those who have strong views, right? And so what happens is you are attracting people who feel a deep interest in the issue in a way that may not actually represent the norm. And I think in many ways, South Africans are going about their lives, living them, deeply divided, unequal, making friends, making enemies, but we are in the business of living to a large extent very non-violently. So I will say that the thing that has concerned me the most about the conversation today was the intimidation and the edge of violence. And it speaks to something that we didn't put on the agenda, but I think that we should, which is gender. Because the reality is there was a very masculine intimidation style that was going on here, a kind of bullying. And I think that often the ways in which aggressive racism plays themselves out far more amongst men in particular ways than amongst women. This is not to say that madams are not racist. But one of the things that we also have to recognize, and this is where I insist on holding myself accountable, is that there are black madams who treat their staff horribly. Yeah?
Stop there to say this here. And it's going out to you men. And you so-called men know who I'm talking about. Y'all closet hiders. Y'all need to come out of the closet and be what you are. And stop lying to the women that you with. But back to you men. I want to say to you men, when you thinking that you're not a gentleman when you open the door for a woman, or open the door, period. Meaning in a car, period. You just open the door for a woman. It's not manly. Let me explain something about opening the door for that woman. A man's supposed to check the door for a woman as far as her safety. He's supposed to make sure everything is always safe for that woman. His better half. Everything is twisted up to everything being as twisted up as everything is because when all those men are in that room making a decision for you young, I'm gonna say it like I feel it, dumb, stupid soldiers, and that goes out to the ones that's going there knowing that they're not a killer and they don't really want to kill nobody but might have to. Why are you going? Nothing is that bad to the point where you'll be made to take a life knowing that you wouldn't want your life taken, knowing that you wouldn't want your mama, sister, or brother's life taken, knowing that the baggage of taking in life, you can never fight away from you because that life will be on you because you're the one that took it. No matter if the corporal in the army told you to. You're going to be held responsible to know that you did something that you wouldn't want someone to do to you. And not only that, you will be killing innocent people that don't have nothing to do with the bullshit that you were sent there to do. Because if you look at any war that we'll ever be in, you gotta look at that war for what it would be for us to be in it. It will be some bullshit. Somebody else's bullshit. And while you out in the war fighting, losing a limb, or just losing life, they're in their cool, comfortable kitchen or living room, chilling and shit. And you fighting over their bullshit. You're not fighting because somebody is being treated unfairly. You fighting for somebody else's bullshit. That goes to show you, if you fight for someone else's bullshit, that means that your life don't mean shit. If you dying over their bullshit, and it's just some things. It's all about what the truth is. And the truth is, soldiers are dying behind some other people's greedy ass bullshit. And then I say to you soldiers on this, you soldiers are our last defense. When we on the defense and then on the fence for to help us, the people who you was created for. Think about that, soldiers. You are our only defense when we're on the fence of defense, of really defending ourselves against, damn, you. Don't make no sense. But back to you soldiers. They can't go to war without soldiers. You're number pawns in somebody else's chess game when we the people own the board and the whole game. This world was created for us. We're slaves on our own earth. The people make the world go round. I'm just saying.
So while race is an important category and an important conversation, there are moments when we have to be honest enough to check ourselves and then to transcend a racial conversation for a bigger conversation that is about class. Yeah.
The reality of South Africa is what happened in the studio. The colored community is also a minority group and their rights are being ignored, even in the Cape, where they were the first people there. When we did Red October, which people still criticize us for, it was about minority rights, and in the Cape, the colored and the Malay people took part. We do not have a democracy, we have a majority rule. Small groups of people are losing their identity, they are losing their cultures. He's asking if he'll be happy if his daughter marries a black guy. You know what? I know very many black men will not be happy if their daughters marry a white dude. Because we should retain our cultures. We should be proud of it. We should keep our languages, our traditions. I can't imagine some dude coming to my house and bringing me 6 cows for my daughter.
No, it's a bit 50.
Oh, 50 cows.
When we return, we get the final word from our audience and our panel. This is the big debate.
When Desmond Tutu said the white people must be glad they're not killed, why didn't anybody say anything? And why didn't anybody say that's racist? And say, how could Tutu say that? White people must be glad they're not killed.
Because it's true.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
About the Red October, I actually don't understand why white people tend to be rhinos that you guys are in danger. You need to accept what you have done to the country, and you need to sit down and allow us to heal. We have accepted what you guys did. Because what is the whole point of this Rainbow Nation? And the guy said, this is their land. This is not your land, sir. You need to wake up from wherever you're dreaming, and the only two places
Here's the thing for us going forward. We need to substitute intolerance with love. We are not a people.
No.
We are a nation of individuals.
No.
If we are a nation, we need to stop tolerating, but we really need to love each other.
It's interesting when I look at your country, which has only got about 11 tribes, while Kenya has about 45. And to be able to put a nation together is quite a mammoth job. And you must admit that 300 years is a long time to undo in 20 years. The question is, what are we going to do? How are we going to implement a program that is going to unravel this over a period of time?
As the young people, we are colorblind to begin with.
Nah.
I have white friends, I have colored friends, I have Indian friends, I have friends from all spectrums. And when we get together, the most important thing is enjoying an experience of euphoria, enjoying an authentic experience of love, excitement. You know, we don't care if you're black, if you're white, where you come from. What's important is what's in here. What can you give me that I can use to grow as an individual?
Song,
At the same time, what can I give
song
back
coming
to
on,
you?
huh?
You understand?
I know y'all hear
Now,
that.
the thing that is actually happening is quite saddening for a person like me, because it feels like the older generation is trying to resuscitate apartheid, which is a giant that is I don't believe that the Rainbow Nation project is dead. I believe it's empty. What's important is that as the nation, we need to come together and say, yes, fine, this is where we messed up. How can we work together moving forward?
There are some people that are not simply willing to partake in the project of creating this kind of country that we want. And as young people, which young people are spoken last year, we have to say, if those people are not willing to work towards building the kind of unity that we want in this country, then we must leave them behind. And we must not be apologetic about doing that. But I also want to make sure that when we leave this room, we don't take people that have been saying that they're speaking as somebody as a board or whatever, and assume that they are speaking on behalf of all Afrikaans people in this country, because then it's going to take us backwards.
People will continue to be angry
people will continue to be intolerant for as long as there's these disparities economically, socio-economic transformation first, and then questions of reconciliation of peace will follow after justice. Thank you.
When we return, the final word from our panel. And welcome back to the big debate on racism. Let's get the final word now from our panel.
When we talk about race and reconciliation like we do today, it often feels to me as if people invent a past that never existed. And I think that it's very important for everyone to be a little bit self-reflexive and to be honest with themselves first. And especially as a white person, maybe with just a tinge of humility at the same time, to think what actually happened in the past. If we don't get to that point of acknowledging what happened in the past and the wrongs in the past, there cannot really be true reconciliation.
I'm not the philosophical one, and then not doing the nice speeches out of a realist. And the reality is that after 20 years, this country is in serious trouble. It's burning. And we do not have another 20 years to have nice philosophical discussions about who should be giving what and apologizing for what. We need to get on with it. And then the lady that started her sentence was saying, "I'm a proud, strong Sotho woman." That's exactly what I wanted her to say. I didn't diss her culture. I said, that's your culture. Keep it and look after it, but allow us ours as well. Because if in this country, I start a sentence by saying, I'm a proud Afrikaner white woman, I'm in trouble.
The struggles that we are dealing with in South Africa are not singular. They are global struggles. People of color, women have been systematically oppressed for centuries. The work that we're doing today to try to break this down is not just important work for ourselves, for our continent, but it's important work for the world. And I'm grateful to have been a part of this experience. South Africans are very passionate. We care about our country, and it's evidenced by the nature of the conversation today.
It feels like the subject matter needs something, almost like a moral figure. You don't have Mandela anymore, but someone of that caliber to stand up and say, actually, we're all part of one nation. And those who want to stay behind and live in the past, fine, we will leave them behind. But at some point, they will come and join us, because where they live is not feasible.
One of my favorite poems is by a woman named June Jordan, and she talks about the fact that we are the ones we've been waiting for. And I think that this idea that there are a group of exceptional people who led us to democracy, and now they're gone, and we are sort of left leaderless and looking for someone to replace them is deeply problematic. What's clear from this conversation is that everyone is big on vision and very short on details. How is it that we are going to create this path to this wonderful future? And what you need for that, in part as leaders, of course, but I think you need to be thinking about it consistently and constantly. We had the TRC for 5 years. It wrapped up its work. It's sitting on shelves. I think we need to really think about a national initiative where it is somebody's business every single day. In schools, in churches, in communities. Someone must be tasked with the business of thinking through and dealing with racism in all the ways in which it affects society. Most importantly, the structural ways.
Loving and caring every day. It's going to be a struggle just to do it right.
And most of the people who are poor are black. That's it.
South Africa is divided. 20 years after apartheid, our fortunes are still determined, in part, by the color of our skin. Will we succeed over time to build a tolerant, multicultural society where everybody has the same chances in life? You decide. Thank you for watching The Big Debate.
And I thank y'all for watching The Big Debate too. So I'll stop The Big Debate right there and say, I appreciate y'all spending this time with me watching the truth unfold with people on TV. But I'll say to you, YouTube and Facebook, You gotta go to it because the TV ain't doing nothing but telling lies to your vision. Some of the truth, you gotta know it to feel it. Because embedded in your DNA is right and wrong. Reciprocity and empathy is embedded in your DNA. You feel good when you do good and what's right. You feel bad when you know you did bad after you found out you did bad, or even much worse when you know you're about to do bad and you do it anyway. Everything is about your heart because that's where everything starts. For to make you even be you, because your heart is the beginning of you. That's your start in the womb. The first creation of you being here is in the form of the heart. You got your first beat in that heart. That's the first vibration of you. Now it's all about you and the frequency that you vibrate your life on in order to live your life right. Here to know who the creator is in you. I love you, baby. Talking to all people out in the world. I say to you, black lives ain't the only lives that matter. All life matters. Even the life you put on your platter that y'all call lunch. I'm just saying, the truth is the truth. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Good is good, bad is bad. Up is up, down is down. Love is love. And that's all we have. Love yourself to care more about everybody else in this circle of life. We're in this circle together. Love your people, keep your head up.